good evening to you. This whole Epstein thing is, I don't know, it's a hole that just keeps getting deeper according to I want to say the antics, according to the antics of the Trump administration. You know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. I have a hard time not seeing it like that. I'm starting to have a hard time not seeing the idea of where there is smoke, there's fire, just simply because of how the Trump administration is handling this stuff.
The Epstein Files Transparency Act that I introduced with Ben Ray Lujan in the Senate was crystal clear. No record shall be withheld, delayed, or redacted on the basis of any of the following: embarrassment, reputational harm, political sensitivity, including any government official, public figure, or foreign dignitary. Well, here we are. Those 99 days have passed, and what we have seen is the files have not been released according to the law. We have seen that victims' names and photos that were supposed to be redacted weren't redacted, and all kinds of redactions appear to have occurred for folks who are potential perpetrators. And we're seeing the Epstein files reverberate across the world. The Prime Minister of Norway, the former ambassador from Britain to the United States, King Charles' brother. But what about here in the United States of America? Why is there no accountability here in the United States of America for these atrocious crimes, the place where they occurred?
You know, that's a really good question. Why are there more heads rolling in regards to the Epstein files internationally than there are here in America where the crimes actually took place? How does that make us look? You know, President Trump has made it clear from day one that under Biden, we were the laughing stock. Nobody respected us. How does it look that America clearly has what amounts to an international pedo on its hands, and we're doing nothing about it? We're not holding anyone accountable in regards to this, other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, who's now in the minimumist, that's making up words here. I get it. I'm making up words. Blue One Banks, thank you very much, with the Galaxy. I'm making up words here. Ghislaine Maxwell is in the minimumist, the minimumist of incarceration. She's essentially in a camp. Other than them two, who are essentially the providers of the folks being trafficked, no one else in America has really been punished. How does that look to the rest of the world? They're punishing, you just heard him state, the former prime, let me hear it again, former prime minister of Norway and things like that.
Weren't redacted, and all kinds of redactions appear to have occurred for folks who are potential perpetrators. And we're seeing the Epstein files reverberate across the world. The Prime Minister of Norway, the former ambassador from Britain to the United States, King Charles' brother. But what about here in the United States of America?
What does that make sense? Ambassadors, prime ministers. He's talking about the brother of King Charles. He's talking about Prince William, the artist formerly known as Prince William. Heads are rolling internationally, but virtually no one here in America is being held accountable. So when Trump states that we were once the laughing stock of the world and everybody respects us now, does that make sense? Prince Andrew, is that who it is? Prince Andrew, not Prince William? Does that make sense that we have what amounts to an international child trafficking ring and we're doing nothing about it, and our other allies and countries around the world are holding their people accountable? Does that make us appear more respected as opposed to Biden? Somebody help me make that make sense. See, the conservative, a handsome conservative, good evening, says, you started out early, handsome. Says a straight talk ain't shit. Certainly not a conservative. Man, you own it. You own it early today. Wow, I wasn't expecting that straight. I wasn't expecting that, conservative. But how does it look? This wasn't going to be my primary topic, but because this stuff is coming in as we speak, they've come up with what is it called? Some kind of, I won't say restoration. He's going to name it, but they're trying to protect the files. They're trying to pass legislation because the belief is that the Trump administration, via Pam Bondi and that Department of Justice, is going to try and attempt to destroy what's in the Epstein files. That's why these folks are holding this meeting today.
Accountability here in the United States of America for these atrocious crimes, the place where they occurred.
And a commercial would come in, but I do want to ask you folks, particularly to my beloved MAGA, why is there so little outrage from MAGA on this? I mean, we can talk about Biden had the files and all of that other stuff, and why didn't Biden release it? I get all of that, but Trump is in office now. He's not really releasing any damn thing of significance. Why is there little to no apparent outrage from MAGA on this? Does Trump come across as totally innocent on this, in your opinion?
We know that there were about 6 million pages, of which only somewhat more than 3 million have been released. We want those other 3 million released. And among
so there were 6 million pages, you hear him say, and 3 million been released. Now they make it clear that it took them a few months to follow the order of Congress to release all the files. So they've been hiding this stuff the whole time. They actually had a team go through the files and redact anything that pertained to Trump's name. They were looking for Trump's name. This really looks like it stinks to the highest of heaven.
Released. We want those other 3 million released. And among them are these 50 pages that entail, as the New York Times said, claims made in 2019 by a woman who came forward after Mr. Epstein's arrest to say she'd been sexually assaulted by both Mr. Trump and Epstein when she was 13 to 15 years old. And it goes on to say that there were 4 interviews with this woman, and only one of those interviews was released. Where are the other 3? Now, we know the other 3 exist because they are in the index.
So now they have actual proof that Pam Bondi's Justice Department deliberately took files out of what was released. Why? Why is this? Why is Trump so silent on this? Remember this whole thing about a sheriff from 2006 said Trump told him or something of the nature that Epstein was doing bad stuff. Why doesn't he have that 2006 energy now that he's in a position of power where he actually could do something? Where is Trump on this? Is the only defense of President Trump is to deflect to past presidents and say, well, they didn't do this or they. Where is Trump on this? Why is he not interested in getting to the bottom of any of this stuff? Now, also, as we speak, both Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have been brought up to a deposition or whatever they want to, whatever legal term it is. I think it's a deposition or whatever the case may be. The Clintons wanted their questioning to be public. The Trump administration, Justice Department, whatever you want to call it, they refused to let them do that. They decided, no, we're not going to let it be public. Why the hell would you do that? So now any information that comes out that maybe makes the Clintons look bad, maybe makes Bill Clinton look guilty in some of his answers. If Bill Clinton states that they're either taking me out of context or I didn't say that or this was edited, how do we know if he's right or wrong? Why would they not let this be public? Everybody that is interested in it, is there anybody that wants this not to be public at this point? Why is there all of this shady evasiveness from the Trump administration? I mean, if you believe Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are dead to right, why wouldn't you let them be questioned publicly? Especially when they're asking for it. They literally asked to be questioned publicly, and the Trump administration denied it. Can somebody make that make sense whatsoever? Tell me how that makes any sense at all, that they wanted to be questioned publicly and the Trump administration denied that. So I don't know where to go with this other than to suggest that the way the Trump administration is handling this, guilty or not, the way they're handling it does not look good at all. And I think even a lot of folks on the right do not favor the way this has been handled by Pam Bondi or President Trump's administration.
With the Epstein files, the Trump administration had an opportunity to secure a win for survivors, for accountability, and for transparency. But after mishandling the files for a year, it took an act of Congress to force Pam Bondi and Kash Patel to even consider providing justice. Even after the passage of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the Trump administration decided to violate federal law to protect the rich and powerful. The law required DOJ to produce the files by December 19th, yet the vast majority of those files were not produced until January 30th, 42 days later. Department of Justice has violated the legislation's protection for victims by publishing records without redacting personally identifiable information of victims, including nude photos where their names and faces could be identified. In sharp contrast, other produced records heavily redacted information identifying powerful business and political figures who are alleged conspirators or material witnesses to Epstein's crimes.
So they produce files that actually show some of the victims nude, underage kids nude, and give their names, but the actual wealthy and elite that may have abused them, their information has been redacted. How the hell could this happen? How the hell could this be happening from the Trump administration if it was not deliberate? How could this be happening? Anyway, we'll talk about it. There's so much here that just looks really, really bad. But in regards to President Trump, something that is more defensive of Trump, and I've seen the comments, what is it? Dima says, why Obama and Biden's DOJ did not prosecute Trump for wrongdoing shown in the files. I don't know, but pointing to failures of the Trump or Biden or better yet, pointing to the failures of the Obama or Biden administration is not a defense for Trump. It's, in fact, when you question what Trump is doing, that literally right now is the only response coming from any of his supporters. Well, what about Biden? What about Obama? That doesn't explain one bit what he is doing. If you want to suggest that the Obama or Biden administration did not do right by these files as well, that's a legitimate argument to make, but that's not a defense for Trump. Trump is at the helm right now. Bringing up Obama and Biden, who are currently in the past, gives nobody any justice, does nothing for anybody. If it other than, I suppose it would do something for Trump. It would allow to take some of the heat off of Trump and spread it to people who are no longer in power. But that does nothing for the victims to blame Obama, who's been out of office, 10 years now? He left office in 2017, so almost 9 years. It does nothing for anybody to bring that up. If he failed to produce during that time, criticize him, but that's about it. That's not helping move this case along one bit. That's a deflection from President Trump. Same thing with bringing up Biden at this point. That does no good whatsoever for the victims or getting to the bottom of this to talk about Biden at this point. But that's what's coming up from folks who support Trump because they don't have an answer for what Trump is doing. Yesterday, now I didn't want to go back into the State of the Union address. This stuff is over with, but I do want to ask you guys something. You see on the monitor behind me, Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar, pictured here at the State of the Union address, screaming at President Trump, clearly disrespecting the damn office of the president. What Ilhan Omar is doing here is disrespectful to the president. I'm not going to mince words with that. This is disrespectful to the president. President Trump himself took to social media today, made a statement such as, When you watch low IQ Ilhan Omar scream uncontrollably last night at the very elegant State of the Union, they had I guess she had the bulging bloodshot eyes of a crazy person. So that's what Trump said about this. Now, I'm not gonna take away from the notion that what she was doing at a State of the Union address, heckling the President of the United States, was disrespectful. Not going to take that away. But what I do want to ask is, here's Marjorie Taylor Greene doing the exact same thing at Biden's last State of the Union address. She's doing literally the same thing, screaming out in the middle of his State of the Union address. Once again, completely disrespectful to the office of the president. Trump didn't have a word to say about this. Not a word to say about this. Didn't take to social media and say shit. MAGA, that are all pissed off about Ilhan Omar, they didn't say a word about what Marjorie Taylor Greene did either. So I do want to ask you folks, simple question. This is being directed at my beloved MAGA. This is for my MAGA viewers, but Democrats will certainly be allowed to answer it. In the eyes of MAGA, is it okay to disrespect the office of president as long as it's not your guy? Does MAGA accept disrespecting the office of the nation's highest office, better yet, the highest office in all of the land? Do they support disrespecting the president as long as it's not their guy? Because there was no outrage at all when Marjorie Taylor Greene screamed down Biden, and now there's outrage everywhere from Ilhan Omar doing the exact same thing. So I do want to hear from you folks. Last but not least, and I'll go to the boxing and we'll certainly start taking calls. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 10,000. If you're watching us on YouTube, I need you to smash that like button. Damn it, it brings in MAGA, helps out the algorithm, supports the program, and for you YouTubers to tap the like button doesn't cost you a damn dime. So tap the like button if you're watching on YouTube. This one here, I suppose I've heard this before, but it really raises the eyebrows because this to me is nothing short of heinous, awful. And hopefully it goes nowhere.
You have the mail order abortion pills as well. And then you have people that are going outside of the state to find doctors that are willing to give them an abortion.
And now some lawmakers want to take another step that could severely punish women who have abortions. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. You just heard from Representative Jody Barrett, who is deeply opposed to abortion. He feels like since Tennessee passed a ban on terminating pregnancies, too many people have gotten away with it using other methods.
So he's filed a new bill to deter it, an amendment. And as Chris Davis discovered, it could even include the death penalty.
They are focused on the wrong things, and we are focused on the right things.
It doesn't happen very often, but there's an amendment to a bill that hasn't even been filed yet that is already the talk of Capitol Hill.
Treat the termination of a pregnancy as criminal homicide.
Murder should be murder, whether it's a person in being or a person in utero.
Representative Jody Barrett is the
So what I want to ask, and this is House Bill 570 coming out of the volunteer state Tennessee. For some of you folks who may want to look it up, I don't want to talk about abortion too much, but I do want to run this by you. House Bill 570, sponsored by both a representative in that state, Jody Barrett, and a state senator, Mark Pody. They wanted to be listed as homicide of her unborn child. So they do want to put women that find, because it's already banned. It's already banned in that state, but you're hearing them saying that people are kind of finding whether it's mail order pills to terminate their pregnancies or even going out of state. So I guess if you're pregnant in Tennessee and you go to another state and have the procedure done, they still want to punish you from Tennessee. I'm not certain of that, but that's what it sounds like they're saying. Missouri also passed a law similar to that, where they wanted to deem the unborn as a resident of Missouri. That was a language used by a congresswoman there, a resident of Missouri, so that if you went somewhere else and terminated your unborn child, you would have to be held accountable for what happened to that resident of the state growing inside of you. So they are trying to, all of this states' rights stuff is bullshit. They're trying to prevent you from doing it, period. But what I want to ask you folks is this. If a woman terminates her child, her unborn child, and the state responds by terminating the woman, as in a death penalty, simple question. If the woman terminates her unborn child and the state responds by terminating the woman, is either party able to legitimately claim that they are pro-life? That's what I'm going to be asking you folks. If you terminate a child and the state terminates you, can either party legitimately claim to be pro-life? Let me know what you think, yes or no, in the comments. We'll certainly go ahead and start the show. As I always, tap the screen, get the likes on up to 10,000. We'll certainly start taking callers there. Looking in the comments, half of the black population has been aborted. That ain't true. that I don't believe it's that high. Half of the black population has not been aborted. And here's something I don't understand. Because you do hear a lot of the pro-life people talking about how many black babies are terminated. When it comes to every single other aspect of life that the African American community asks for help, the same people are against it. Tuition, healthcare, whether we're discussing police brutality, systemic racism, you name it, whatever the African American community is complaining about, the same folks that want to ban abortion because it saves so many black lives don't give a shit about any of that other stuff. So I don't understand why you're bringing up the terminations. You don't seem to care much about these people at all. So I don't understand why that comes up. So maybe we'll end up talking about that. We'll take the first caller at 10,000 on TikTok. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. By the way, we're currently live on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, and YouTube. Feel free to watch us on any of the platforms. You may see behind me the scrolling there, Bigo Live, spelled B-I. We're expanding to other platforms. Simple as that. TikTok, a lot of folks are running away from TikTok, heavy censorship, whatever the case may be. Certainly when it fell in the hands of Americans versus the Chinese, Trump-friendly, some folks are running from TikTok, the censorship, all of that. Bigo Live. I don't think you've ever heard of it before, but you actually can go live on that immediately. And I have an account on there, Handsome Liberal on Bigo, and we picked up Discord. Those two are going to be coming up. So if you ever get a chance, download Bigo Live. There's millions of people on there. We will be going live there. It is just like TikTok. You'll watch live. There's shit scrolling. I mean, literally everything. The gifs, the names, everything. It looks very similar to TikTok. Vertical format, everything. Bigo Live. So looking in the comments, they are not pro-life, they're just anti-abortion. Yeah, if she's taking a life and you're pissed off with that, so you take her life, how are you not just as murderous as her? Somebody explain that to me. So let me know. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, murder's murder, right? So between the Epstein stuff and I don't know about the disrespecting at the State of the Union address. We'll talk about that. Last time I checked, murdering somebody was a crime, says Handsome Conservative. Yeah, but not if the state makes it so it's legal. A lot of things we now deem as crimes in modern time was once legal. So, I mean, the death penalty is not a crime if the state does it to you. Exactly. They don't care about babies or women. They just want control, says what's that? Okay, prove it. Don't say it. Show it, Brian. What are you guys talking about? Murder is nothing if you're an illegal in a blue state. Huh? What are you talking about? Murder is nothing if you're an illegal in a blue. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. My guess is you're taking something that is incredibly rare and making it to sound like something bigger than what it is. Looking in we'll go straight to the box. Are we at 10,000? Yes, we are. We'll make it happen with Jeremy. Good evening, Jeremy. They let murderers out. No. Like I said, you're taking something that rarely happens and blowing it up to make it sound like this is the norm. If you're an illegal immigrant and you go to California, Chicago or any liberal area and you take the life of somebody on the middle of Fifth Avenue, you know who said they could do that? There's no guarantee, but they're going to just let you out. That's bullshit. Jeremy, good evening.
Hey Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What now? Did you hear this spill on them trying to pass a bill to basically execute women that may terminate their unborn child?
Yeah, I heard about that from you. This is the first time hearing about it. Look, I don't think the punishment fixed the crime, but I'm so sick of this stupid idea that like pro-life means you're pro all life. Okay, it's not. It's not. It was never meant that way. It's pro-innocent life. That's the real issue. Children in the womb have never committed an armed robbery. They've never scammed anybody. Okay, but adults absolutely do this stuff.
So
that's what it means.
So when Charlie Kirk said that children in school should not get a free lunch, are the children guilty of something?
No, he didn't say that.
What he did.
No. I'm not letting you get away with this. What he said was that it shouldn't be universal.
No, he said get a job. He was questioned at a debate.
Yeah, he was talking about the parents who are irresponsible and don't feed their kids. It's not the state's responsibility to feed everybody. It's the parents. I don't have kids. Why the hell should I have to pay for some kid that isn't mine when the state could easily punish the child's parents for being neglectful?
You're actually defend. I guess you're trying to counter what I'm saying, but you're literally saying the same thing. If the parent is a loser, they're unemployed, they're not doing what they should be doing as a parent, you're going to punish the child because the mom is lazy and not working or something?
I'm going to punish the parents. We're going to punish the parent because there are punishments you can deal out to parents who neglect their children. It's illegal to do that.
Explain.
What's up?
Explain how you're going to do it.
First off, let's say somebody isn't paying enough child support. They will hunt that man down and garnish his wages.
Okay.
Yeah, and CPS can take away children from parents that don't feed their kids when their kids are emaciated.
But we're talking about a free lunch at school. That's all we're talking about.
Yeah, I know. It's going to cost a lot more money than you would actually anticipate. I mean, here's the thing. I'm perfectly fine with having a school lunch program where people who are proven and on paper to be poor or get a free lunch, because that can just be out of everybody's hands. Someone like a dad could get a serious back injury at work. Now he can't work. Now he has to stay home, and he just doesn't have the money. And the mom is working 3 jobs. You know, they don't have like.
Under what condition? Let me ask you this: under what condition would you deny a child free lunch in school?
If their parents are fucking rich.
So once again, then
no shit, of course.
Well, but the point I'm making is, once again, you're punishing the child for some reason something that has to do with the parents. The kid, if the kid is hungry, get it.
How is that any different from when people who are pro-choice say that if you were raped, you should be able to abort the child? You're punishing the child for what the father did.
No, if you terminate a pregnancy, it is absolutely punishing a child, no matter how you do it. I'm not denying that. You just denying all the stuff that happens to the kid after the kid is alive. That's punishing them too.
No. If their parents are loaded, that's the parents' responsibility at that point. It's not the kid going starving. It's not us saying the kid should starve. It's us saying, okay, the parents should do their fucking job. What is the job? You have kids. Should the state not make you pay for your kids? Like, that it's not your responsibility to pay for them.
No, that's a good question. That's a good question. The liberal in me says tax money, just like I don't pay for my kid to go to public school. Lunch should just be included in that. Whatever taxes you take from the public, just like it covers textbooks and all that. Why can't it cover a fucking sandwich?
Because when you actually look at a scale you would have to do that at, if this was like a universal thing, it would raise the price on everybody by a lot, including for people who don't even have kids.
So you can cover the building of schools and all the textbooks, all of the electronics and all that in there. But if you provide them food, that's going to raise everything a lot.
First off, number one, Okay, if we actually want to look at the scale, a building is static. It only needs repairs and maintenance here and there. Okay, buildings are much easier to maintain than repeatedly buying food. Do you know how much more expensive it is to like buy food at a restaurant? Like when a restaurant is trying to supply food for its customers compared to the actual building maintenance, it's a completely different thing.
You really think that if you gave kids free lunch in schools, it would cost taxpayers that much money? It would be that noticeable? I mean, when you look at the fact that all of the shit we do militarily, all the equipment we buy, just buying one extra F-35 would probably feed every kid in a large city for several days on end. And we got stuff like that just sitting around. I don't
have to believe in the military-industrial complex. That's a completely separate issue.
No, the point I'm making is the money is there. We're crying over shit that actually would be used by kids, as opposed to, you mentioned the military-industrial complex, and that's just one of the things. I mean, Trump is talking about building a fucking tribunal in D.C., just a big-ass arch that's going to cost millions of dollars, but all of a sudden, if we give kids free lunch in schools, oh my God, that's going to cost way too much money to do that. Stuff that people could actually need and use.
How many kids do you think have to eat?
All of them.
The majority of kids.
Yeah,
the majority of kids go to public school, right?
Yeah.
Why can't a parent pack a lunch for that kid or buy hot lunch and put them on a hot lunch program that they pay for? The parents pay for.
I don't see why can't the children just be given a lunch in schools? I don't see why that can't be done. To me, the idea that that's going to somehow break the bank or raise our taxes astronomically just comes across as flat out insensitive. That you wouldn't even notice that. They could do that in a way. Elon and all of them claiming they saved us $1 trillion in waste, fraud, and abuse. Feeding a kid in school is not waste, fraud, and abuse. How about diverting some of that money to that?
Just because it's a smaller issue doesn't mean it's not an issue.
I see all of the shit we waste money on in this country. And when we get down to a child having lunch in schools, there's got to be a million things we waste money on that should not even be up for discussion. We should be able to easily do that.
Well, we can do two things at once. We can get rid of a lot of the stuff that we waste money on and choose to make parents who are capable of feeding their children be responsible for the children they chose to have. You chose to have the kids. That's okay. Now bear the responsibility. Be a parent. Step up, man the fuck up, or woman the fuck up, depending on whether or not, you're talking to a man or a mom or a dad.
Yeah, to me,
be parents.
And that's where you and I disagree on the pro-choice, pro-life thing. To me, the mindset you have on this, you're not pro-life. You just want to make sure the kid is born. After the kid is born, you don't give a shit about that kid.
No.
Yeah.
I can flip this back on you real easily. You want to know why?
Go for it.
Okay. You want to know who gives more to charity that benefits families than anybody else? Conservatives. By a significant amount.
Right. And their areas are
heavily outspend in charity, liberals and left-wing people by a lot.
It's interesting.
So when it's our actual necks on the line and it actually goes to a direct program that we chose to get involved in, we actually put our money where our mouth is. Well, when liberals do it, they just vote for it, but they don't actually put their own money on the line.
Yet your areas by far are significantly poor. You hear about how fucked up blue cities are. That ain't where the poverty is. It's in those areas where all those charitable folks are living you're talking about. That's where all the poverty is.
No, that's not true.
Are you kidding me?
The suburbs. The suburbs and the rural areas are much wealthier than a lot of the inner cities.
Yeah, the suburbs in the rural areas are wealthy because they're living off of the civilization of the blue city. I'm talking about rural areas like.
What are you talking about?
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Food comes from the rural areas.
No, if you live in the suburbs, the only reason if you live in the suburbs, most of your town's income is coming from the airport that's in the big city, all of the businesses. In fact, your suburb ain't doing shit by itself. You ain't got nothing but houses out there.
Yeah, there's nothing but houses. Have you ever been to a suburb?
Well, first of all, Jeremy, if you're in the suburb, chances are you're in the same county with the big city. You don't think that any of that money from that big city is coming to that suburb? They're not getting any of that?
Not nearly as much.
Oh my
Not
God.
nearly as much.
So if I'm in the suburb of Chicago, my suburb ain't benefited at all by being connected to a huge tourist area, one of the world's largest airports. Ain't none of that benefit my suburb.
Not nearly as much as the other way around. And by the way,
but property value, all of that is benefiting.
Also, where do you think you get most of your food? You're not actually raising cattle in a Long John Silver's parking lot.
I'm just going to tell you, you sound I know you're much younger than I am, but I'm going to tell you, rural America, rural Louisiana, not suburbs, rural Louisiana, rural Mississippi, rural West Virginia. That shit is dirt poor. It is dirt poor. The suburbs benefit by being near a big city. That's what makes your property value, because you can leave the big city, but you still have access to all of the amenities that come with that big city. That's why suburbs do well. Rural areas don't have it. You got a fucking Dollar Tree and a Walmart in your town. It is poverty on top of poverty.
It's not poverty. It's just low income. It's also less expensive.
Okay.
Everything's lower in price once you get out of the city. Everything costs less. It's just a difference in cost of living. Not only that, again, who do you think grows most of your fucking food? Where do you think your food is coming from?
The farms.
The city?
No, the farms, Jeremy. Most of that shit is industrialized by big corporations. Most of the people that live in a small town are not owning farms. There's only a few people that have that. Most of that shit's owned by big corporations now. That the day and age you're talking about is gone.
Located in the city. Yeah, and it's not located in the city, is it?
I don't. Do you get around? Do you travel?
Yes.
You know, for you to think the suburbs do not benefit.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that the city grows food? Are you serious?
No, I'm telling you, I cannot believe you indicated that living in a suburb has no benefits from the big city that's connected to them. I can't believe you would say something like that. If you live in a suburb of a big city, that big city is primarily why you're there. That's why suburbs are mostly houses. You don't have any big corporations and shit in the suburbs.
I live in a suburb, dude.
What is the nearest big city to you?
Houses.
What is the nearest big city to you?
I'm not going to say that because I don't want to give away.
Okay.
But I will say I live in the state of Wisconsin. We have two big cities. We have a few. So we're seeing Milwaukee and Madison. Those are the two. Those are the three biggest ones.
Okay,
I've been to all three.
I grew up in some of my life. I grew up in Milwaukee. There's no way in hell most of those towns, Oak Creek, we're near the airport. You know, you go around Milwaukee area, Wauwatosa, and all that shit. Them towns would be dead if Milwaukee left. That's where all the money is coming from. A lot of people in them suburbs actually go to Milwaukee for their job. If you want to fly out of town, you go to Milwaukee for the airport. If you want to go on the lakefront, that's where all of that shit is at.
Well, I've been to MKE plenty of times, and that's kind of the only reason why I go to Milwaukee ever is when I need to fly.
Okay. The idea that you're going to tell me the suburbs are not benefiting. If you're in Milwaukee County, I don't care what suburb you're in, you're absolutely benefiting from that city bringing in all that money. The idea that you say, well, they ain't helping us out at all, that's crazy. That you really believe that?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I can be even if I'm proven wrong. Okay, it doesn't really detract from my bigger point that we're making this conversation, which is that we were talking about pro-life and pro-choice. And then when it comes to the actual people who donate the most, it's always people on the right. People on the right donate more, especially Christians, to charity.
Here's another. Well, first of all, not only do I not believe that Christians donate, but let's say they do. One of the problems with that, people on the right, Christians, this Christian nationalist stuff, they don't want their donations going to just anybody. So they may donate, but they want their money only going to Christians or only going to causes they believe in. So a whole large portion of America is going to be left out.
That's everybody.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I listen to Fox News Radio all the time, and they talk about stuff where we only do things that go with what you believe in. I mean, that's the reason why there's been a large amount of poverty in African American history, is because a lot of those donors didn't want their money going to the African American community. You think Christians want to donate money that go to Muslims? No, they want to control where that shit goes.
It depends on what they're donating to. If they're donating to a general food house, that's where anybody can go, like, you know, to a food bank or something like that. They don't care about your religion then, because there's, you know, starving people are starving people. However, if it's something in like say like a private school for Muslims, they'd be like, well, no, because that would be educating Muslims under the Muslim faith.
I think it would go a lot further than that. Like, for instance, you got a lot of Christians now that think all the Somalis in Minnesota are fraudulent. So they wouldn't want their money going anything like that. They would find bad elements of every group and say, I don't want any money going to that. Like Trump is saying that all Afghans that came over here now, because one guy shot 2 National Guard, well, they all bad now. So no, the groups you're talking about on the conservative side, as long as their money is going to other Christian conservatives, they're okay with it. The minute that money starts being donated to causes outside of that, they start having problems with it.
It depends. Like, for instance, like
then you're not charitable.
I'm agnostic, but I still volunteer with the Catholic Church a lot, and the Catholics are all about believing that there is neither Jew nor Gentile, nor Greek nor Hebrew. Well, you know, there's that everybody's a human being under the eyes of God.
I don't think we have ever lived by that. Jermaine says the caller has a problem having free lunch for kids, but don't care about Donald Trump suing the IRS for $10 billion, which is insane as well. How do you?
I didn't even hear about that.
You have not heard about that?
How am I supposed to care about something that I've never heard about?
I'm
not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying this commenter is absolutely stupid. This commenter is stupid because they're like, well, how come you don't care about this? Just because I don't know about something, and even if I did, and like, why would that make it okay? I can think 2 people can be wrong at the same time.
Okay, I'm just surprised. I'll leave it at that. I'm surprised you hadn't heard of that. Another Forever C10. Thank you for your support forever. It says, damn, I'm glad I was born in the 70s and came up in the 80s and 90s. These heartless motherfuckers, I would have starved in school. Fuck, thank God for free lunch, man. Listen at them. And that's my case as well. I got free lunch throughout elementary school. And yeah.
If you were poor, I would be okay with you getting a free lunch.
Yeah, but
I'm saying not everyone is poor. Not everyone has irresponsible parents.
Jeremy.
The state doesn't have to be your dad.
Jeremy, here's the 2 things is when you say as long as you're poor, first of all, what the right deems as poor, you could be a single mom working 2 jobs, living check to check, and they'll say, well, you make enough to qualify, so you don't get. So what they deem as poor is you got to be below the poverty level. I mean, somebody could be really poor and they'll tell you still qualify to pay for that shit. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is they're constantly making
One second, Tim. Mike, if you're going to talk shit in the comments, actually debate me, you fucking coward. Holy shit. Michael, the employee, is always dodging. I've gone into other lives where he's been. He's never invited me. I've come in on my own free will into lives where he's been on and talks back to him. And okay, he always fucking runs. So please, shut the fuck up until you're willing to nut up. Nut up or shut up.
Michael, the employee, what the fuck is that? What he said? He got a job. That means he don't need free lunch, right?
Yeah, that was good. I'll give you that one.
All right, get a man credit. Economic Darwinism, survival of the fittest, says Young Bright. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's kind of the pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
My point here, Tim, is there's no such thing as free. Never has been, and I'm okay with that. I'm even okay with people taking collective responsibility for people who can't help themselves. Kids are innocent, and I'm willing to help them, but we can't just carte blanche just throw random money at the issue.
No. And see, I disagree with you because we're the world's wealthiest country, and we waste. I mean, how much we hear about AIPAC all the time. We're about to go to war with Iran again, probably at the behest. To me, there is so much shit we waste money on. That money going to kids of middle class or wealthy families to eat in school, that should be like the 10,000th conversation we had before all the other. There's so many other areas where money being wasted on. Get a fucking kid some food.
Look, I'll meet you halfway here, okay? If you told me that to get rid of APAC because I think they should be registered as a foreign whatever it's called, if you wanted to like worry about that, okay, and you wanted to also get rid of the unnecessary spending that the government has in other departments, that is way more expensive and way more wasteful than something like giving school lunches. And all I had to do was say, yeah, but all kids in America eat for free, like at lunch. I'm like, okay, fine. There's a lot of places that waste more money, but I don't see why you have to say one thing, like where you have to be against getting rid of wasteful spending in one area and not get rid of it in another. Why can't we do both?
Because I don't believe giving kids a free lunch in school is quote unquote wasteful spending. I don't see it by any stretch of the imagination. To me, out of all the things we waste money on, that's probably something that most kids would consume. That's money that absolutely would not be wasted. Not to mention, you want to deal with childhood obesity and things like that. You would be able to make sure they're eating a healthier lunch. I mean, it's just, I don't know. To me, I think it's terrible to even consider that that's not something we should do. I'll give you the last word. I do got to move on, though.
All right. Well, here's the last thing I'll say. Regardless, I don't want kids to starve, but there are ways of doing it. There's the right way and there's the wrong way. So let's do things the right way, because doing the right thing the wrong way is just as destructive as not doing anything at all. All right, Tim, you have a good night, okay?
All right. Appreciate it, Jeremy. Thanks for coming through. Come on back anytime. Tarsha White says they are not pro-life. They're just anti-abortion. That's what I believe. Now, Miss Mobetta was on here yesterday, and she said something I have not heard of. That folks are trying to get more babies to be born because they want to have access to the placenta for some medicinal values in the placenta. I had never heard of that before. Has anybody else heard of that? I think some of you folks said you had heard about that, because President Trump was on TV the other day saying, we want more babies. Now, something I have heard of before, and I do believe that there's some validity in this as well, replacement theory, because I've had a lot of folks tell me about it. I've talked to a lot of my beloved MAGA that genuinely believe in replacement theory. So that absolutely is a cause to desire more babies, because you want to maintain the majority for the white population. So I absolutely believe that's the issue. And I think that our immigration policies also are being tailored to be more strict to offset the belief of replacement theory, because that's primarily who is being displaced. Those are the people that are being displaced, black and brown people. They're not really displacing a whole lot of folks that are not black and brown. In fact, President Trump has let in a few thousand white South Africans. So I do believe replacement theory has something to do with it, but I didn't know anything about the placenta thing. I did not know anything about that. Anyway, moving on with the program. Tap the screen, get us on up to 30,000. We're currently live on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Substack. Follow the program if you're watching us on any of the particular platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, give your boy a sub. Looking in the comments, low birth rates, MAGA going, instinct, nature always corrects itself. True. I will say this, though, too. To me, one of the problems with replacement theory, thank you for the hat mustache there, Blue One Banks. Helping your boy out with the goal. Help the hat mustache TikTok cap go. Thank you. One of the problems with the replacement theory that I find is that, look, if an African American gets with, let's say, a white person, and they have an interracial marriage or they procreate, why is a child that is procreated considered black? Why is a child that is 50% white, 50% black considered black? I'm talking about your Alicia Keys, your Mariah Careys, your Halle Berrys, all got white. Barack Obama's another. Why are they considered black when half of them is also white? And I'm bringing this up because of the whole replacement theory thing. It's because unlike many of the minority populations, the white population has this purity complex that the moment another race is mixed with ours, it's no longer ours. You wouldn't have a replacement theory issue if you were not denouncing so many people that are actually part of your group. If a white person creates a mixed child, why do they lose all the whiteness? It's still in them. As Mr. Miyagi once told Daniel's son, there's good karate still inside of you. You're still white. You're just a little dark on the outside. Why are you taking away the man's heritage, man or woman's heritage? So that is where the replacement theory, in my opinion, gets things wrong, is that it's based on a purity complex. You know, where they say one drop of black blood or something crazy like that. But you don't see the other races saying that if our race mixes with somebody else, we're going to denounce the whole person as being other now. Shouldn't be that way. If you're half black and half Chinese, then part of you is Chinese. They still accept that. They don't just get, all of a sudden, you're no longer Chinese anymore. Barack Obama just completely lost his whiteness, even though half of him is still there. That sounds like some kind of purity complex. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But anyway, before we continue on, in regards to what we were discussing with my last caller, Charlie Kirk.
There should be free school lunch for all children.
No.
Why?
Of course not. Because parents should feed their kids, not the government.
What if they can't?
Go get a job.
A child?
The parents should go get the job.
Yeah.
This is important. I don't believe
they have jobs and they can't support their children stare because the minimum wage is so low.
No, you are a temp, dude. Don't give me this stuff. First of all, this is really.
I want children to eat.
Of course I do. Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist. Number two, we have churches, we have food shelters, we have billions, and it does not.
So unlike my last caller, Charlie Kirk don't even care if the kid is poor. My last caller was saying, you should take care of your kid, but if you are impoverished, he clearly asked him, what if the kid is poor? And Charlie Kirk still said, fuck off. So Charlie Kirk is not even going to help you out if your kid is poor. I mean, he's saying, look, you might be able to go to church, you may be able to go to a church or a charity organization, but don't ask me for shit. You can go down the road, maybe they'll donate you something, but don't ask me for shit.
There should be free school lunch for all children.
No.
Why?
Of course not. Because parents should feed their kids, not the government.
What if they can't?
Go get a job.
What if they can't? He still was not going to help that person out. Then you need to find a job. I'm still not going to give your kid nothing to eat.
A child?
The parents should go get the job.
Yeah.
This is important. I don't believe
they have jobs and they can't support their children stare because the minimum wage is so low.
No, you are a temp, dude. Don't give me this stuff. First of all, this is really.
I want children to eat.
Of course I do. Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist. Number two, we have churches, we have food shelters, we have billions, and it does not exist. We have a child obesity problem, not a child starvation problem in this country.
So, I mean, to me, he basically just said, fuck off. Snowbird, good afternoon. Welcome to the program. That's exactly what black people have done before the 60s. Get a fucking job because we weren't allowed at welfare or free lunch. Yeah, that's true. That is what they had to do. But I mean, a lot of them lived incredibly bad, though. I mean, you could do that, but they lived incredibly impoverished. Snowbird, good afternoon or good evening.
Well, hello, Tim. It's been a long time.
Well, good to have you back. Good to have you back. So, I mean, you agree with Charlie Kirk on this?
No, I don't. I believe the community you belong in, we should all come together and help those people out.
What if it's an impoverished community? I mean, like you got communities where everybody's making 30 grand a year or less.
Well, that's when the government should step in and help out.
Okay. So you do believe the government should give children free lunch then?
Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely believe that. No children should go out without feeding. No child.
How about the notion, like what I was debating back and forth with my last guest, is that if you're okay with saying a child shouldn't eat, shouldn't get a free lunch, you're not pro-life. Can you see an atmosphere where you're like Charlie Kirk but still considered pro-life?
Yeah, I'm pro-life, right?
But you also believe a kid shouldn't go hungry, unlike Charlie Kirk. He was like,
you're correct. I do believe that because I believe a child our future, and we need to help the ones that are not getting what everybody else has, right?
Right. Well, he don't sound that way. He sounds like it's up to you. Don't ask me for shit type.
Yeah, Charlie there is a little off I like Charlie personally, but what you just put out that video, I think he's a little off by that, because I don't believe what he's thinking with that video that you played. I don't believe in that.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure, how could he have that mindset though, in your opinion, because you favor him? How could he have that mindset and still be considered pro-life?
Because Charlie, even though he has pro-life, he's also a millionaire, right? Like a multi-millionaire.
A millionaire that don't want to share with kids that are hungry.
Right. And then you got the average pro-life people that think that every child, which I do too, that should have food. It just seems like the people that make the most money don't want to help out.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why we've got here. But I guess I agree with everything you're saying, with the exception of, I'm trying to listen to what you're saying. I'm trying to see how Charlie Kirk walks out of this still being considered pro-life. To me, agreeing with everything you're saying, it sounds like he should not be considered as pro-life.
I understand what you're saying, and I believe that too, but we don't know his mindset, because he's a multi-millionaire and he thinks on a different playing field than we think, right?
Well, you say you don't know his mindset. He's telling you it's clear as day there. The fact that if you become rich, there's a saying that says something to the, I don't know the saying exactly, but it's something like, money don't change who you are. It just makes you more of that person. So even as a poor person, if you don't like to share as a rich person, you damn sure wasn't sharing much as a poor person. So it just makes you more of what you already are.
Correct. You're 100% correct. Like, okay, I'm very wealthy, okay? And my mindset is not like him at all, because I came from humble roots and I give back to my community. I don't think like the way Charlie thinks, because
you're pro-life. Because you're pro-life and he's not. I don't know why you're hesitant to say that, but I don't see this guy as coming across as caring about the life of a child.
Yeah, that could be true. He may say he's pro-life, but maybe he's not.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just using it as a coverage. But I'm pro-life, and I'm here to help the children.
Well,
no matter what.
You ever heard of the phrase pro-birth?
No.
Pro-birth means you are in favor of making sure the unborn is birthed. But you don't give a damn about the unborn, or you don't give a damn about the child once it's born. You don't care about any social kind of like what Charlie Kirk is saying. So you do want to make sure the child has the right to be birthed. But once they are in the world, you don't want to be, you don't really care. Pro-birth. You just care about them being born.
Oh no, I don't. Now you told me the meaning of it. No, I am not for pro-birth at all. Okay. At all.
No, I'm saying Charlie Kirk sounds like he is.
Well, I think maybe Charlie Kirk is not the person that we think he is. Maybe, who knows?
I think that's what a lot of his. I think that's what a lot of his detractors have been saying ever since folks started celebrating him. Is that he ain't the person you think he is?
I worked in the industry that I went through a lot of like entertainers and that, and I'm telling you, they're the cheapest people in the world, and they are the rudest people in the world.
So now you said you're pro-life, right?
Yep.
I don't know. Did you see the clip I played earlier out in Tennessee with this bill they're trying to introduce?
I just got in here like 20 minutes ago.
This is only a minute, so I want you to hear this and get
abortion pills as well. And then you have people that are going outside of the state to find doctors that are willing to give them an abortion.
And now some lawmakers want to take another step that could severely punish women who have abortions. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. You just heard from Representative Jody Baird, who is deeply opposed to abortion. He feels like since Tennessee passed a ban on terminating pregnancies, too many people have gotten away with it using other methods.
So he's filed a new bill to deter it, an amendment. And as Chris Davis discovered, it could even include the death penalty.
So what I want to ask you, they give their spiel in it, but I want to ask you, if a woman, and I asked this earlier in their live to folks who were in here, if a woman terminates the life of her unborn child and the government responds by terminating the life of the woman, can either party claim to be pro-life?
Well, if she goes to a state, they accepted the abortion.
Let's say she do it in Tennessee. Let's say she uses some kind of orifice, sticks something up her orifice, or illegally orders some drugs from another state, and she does it in Tennessee where it is illegal. She takes the life of her unborn child, and then the state of Tennessee takes her life. Is either party able to say that they are pro-life?
That's a tough one.
Really?
Wow.
What is your definition of pro-life?
Well, my pro-life is this. I believe every child that's in the womb has that opportunity to become alive, right?
Okay.
To see the world. But I also believe that I also believe in women's rights too, okay? I'm on I don't need.
So let me ask you.
Let me put it this way.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me put it this way. My son, years ago, got a woman pregnant.
Oh,
right?
that was close. Go ahead. Got a woman pregnant. Okay, yeah. Thought it was some LGBTQ stuff, but go ahead.
At a young age, right?
Okay.
And I told my son I was totally against abortion, right?
Mm-hmm.
But whatever they decide, I stand behind them no matter what, because I love them.
Okay.
So how would you put me? I don't know. That's how I feel.
Well, you can be pro-life for you, but not try to. What the right is doing is trying to force their beliefs on everybody else. Okay, look, if Trump, for instance, doesn't believe in terminating the life of a child, then if he gets a woman pregnant, then he won't term. But when you start demanding that everybody else have to live by your rules, obviously you're not doing it. You're telling your son, I'm not going to condemn you for doing this. So you're letting them live their life, but just saying, if it was me, I wouldn't do it.
Correct. And that's the way it should be. That's the way I feel. I feel that I'm against abortion.
So are you a grandmother now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I have 11 children, grandchildren.
Oh, wow, that sounds like the definition of pro-life to me. So, but what I'm asking is, if the state takes her life for her taking the life of her, is the state considered pro-life?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
That's a really tough thing, because I honestly don't think a government should tell a woman what she can do, what she can't do, right? Because I told my son she's my daughter-in-law today. They end up marrying. They've been married 19 years. And I told them, no matter what, I'm there for them, and I'm for anybody else. But I don't agree with it.
Who did you vote for? I'm curious. Trump and Biden, or Trump and Kamala?
I voted for Trump.
Because you sound like you got some, based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like there are some reasons for why you probably shouldn't have voted for him, because he's doing some of the things you are against.
Well, I'm an independent person, and I've been voting on both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked some of the stuff that President Trump did. But when it comes to abortion, I honestly believe that a woman should decide what she wants to do, because I don't want to put that onus on me. Right?
Yeah. And you sound like literally you could have stood up at a Kamala Harris rally and said that. You would have got applause for that. You would have got booed at Trump for saying that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It sounds like you should have possibly been on the other side, at least with this issue.
Mm-hmm. So I believe in people's rights, and I believe in a lot of things in life. Like I said, I've been on both sides of the spectrum, but I lean towards more Trump, not through his abortion rights, but a lot of other things he does. I believe in it.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples. What else?
Well, I do like the immigration because I love immigration people, like immigrants, but I don't like illegal process because I think that if a person took 20 years to get into the country, why can somebody get in within a year and just walk around the United States freely?
Do you believe that? Do you believe that the only people Trump is evicting are illegals?
I don't know. I would say majority are, because we're not seeing all of it, right? We're just seeing what they want us.
We haven't even seen the people that went to Alligator Alcatraz. We don't know where they went. They just disappeared. So you're right. We're not seeing all of it. I mean, we're not even seeing all the Epstein files. He's kind of like a David Copperfield, so to speak, in some of these cases. Things are disappearing, but no, we're not seeing all of it. I mean, you just kind of going to go by what he's telling you.
And we're not hearing it either on mainstream media. Like, that's what a lot of people rely on. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that we're having it's like communication outlet. Like,
have you seen
us nothing?
Yeah. Have you seen what's happened to the likes of Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon? You're hearing outlets. I mean, there's a reason why the mainstream media is not talking to you. He's going after the mainstream media. If they say too much, then they're dealing with the likes of the Trump administration. Pam Bondi and all of them are going after you.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about more like news means like the news stations.
I'm talking about news stations too. I'm talking about people that would tell you what you want to hear. He's going after them entities too.
Right. And also I understand what you're like when you brought up Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon and that. I know what they've done. I've been down the rabbit hole since 2015. I know what's going on.
What do you mean? Explain.
It's a lot deeper than what you guys think.
And help me out. Help me understand. Cue me in. Give me a summary. What am I missing?
Well, there's a lot of nasty stuff going down.
You got to give me something with a little detail.
There's a lot of evil. There's a lot of evilness in this world.
Okay.
A lot of evilness. And it's on both sides. It's not just one-sided.
Okay.
Both parties are involved. 85% of the government around the world are involved in this deep satanic stuff. It's disgusting.
Are we talking Epstein?
Oh yeah, it goes farther than Epstein. It goes deep. We're talking about Epstein, Diddy, Israel. It goes deep.
Now you voted for Trump. Is he involved in any of this?
No, he's not.
What do you mean?
I'm telling you right now, he's not.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that with such confidence?
Why do I say that? Because if you go watch his 2017 inauguration and listen to his speech and listen to the words he says, every president that's been there before President Trump always gives the power back to Washington. President Trump didn't give the power back to Washington. He gave it back to the people. To the people. Go watch that.
So you just said you believe a woman should have the right to choose. They're losing that power under the Trump administration. How is the power going back to the people? You're admitting that women are losing power.
Well, but not. I understand where you're coming from here, but he didn't say, okay, I'm going to make a federal thing and it's going to be federally across the whole board. He gave it back to the states.
Right. Because he gave it back to the states. Okay, that's like saying, I'm not going to shoot you. I'm going to hand it to my friend and he's going to. You're still getting shot. I mean, there's plenty of states now that they've lost that power.
Yeah, but imagine if he didn't give the states even the power and just made it federal.
Well, either or, they're losing power. Under Kamala Harris, they would not have lost that power anywhere. Under Trump, half of the country is illegal to do it now. They've lost power. Significant amount of power. And in some cases, even if they're sexually violated against their will, they have no choice. Not to mention, in addition to carrying somebody else's kid against your will, you got to pay all the fucking medical bills. If you're gainfully employed, you heard what my last caller said, you heard what Charlie Kirk said, you got to pay your own medical bills. So now you got to pay medical bills involved with a pregnancy that you didn't want. All of that, you're losing power. That's coming from Trump.
See, that's when Trump should have some kind of program in states that don't accept abortions to give something for the mothers to get them through whatever they have have to get through. Like maybe the government should give the child that gets born so much money per month.
Yeah, but you know that ain't coming. You know, you and I, even if I agree with you, you know the Trump administration has zero desire to do that. That's not coming. That's not even being discussed.
Yeah, well, as long as he didn't make it a federal policy, I'm fine with that, right?
But you would admit women are losing power because of that. You gave the states the right to take power from women.
But if I belonged in that state where I didn't have that power to abort my child, then I would go to another state to abort my child, right?
And that costs you money, time off work, if you can get it, if you got to. All of that is another hurdle. You're losing power. The point I'm not saying there's not a way to finagle it and do it. I'm just simply saying you lost power. You got to do all kinds of stuff you didn't have to do before Trump.
Right. Then if Trump's going to make this kind of decision, then maybe he should give money to those.
That's not going to happen. I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm simply saying what you're talking about. Maybe he has no desire to do that. That's not going to happen. Never even mentioned it. Never even mentioned it.
You know, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know about. All I know is I'm like what I said earlier. I'm for like every woman, whatever she decides, whatever she wants, I'm for it, right? Whatever makes her happy. But I am for my own personal, I'm against abortions, right?
Nothing wrong with that. I get it.
But
okay.
President Trump needs to put something in place for the states that do. You know, he should look at it a little different than what he's looking at it, because if these states are gonna become not legal to have a baby.
I'm not disagreeing with you. The point I'm making is he's shown no inclination that he's going to do any of that. It sounds great, but he hasn't shown any. He hasn't even mentioned it. Not only Trump, but you're not hearing that from anybody on the right. None of the. You mentioned the state. Even at the state level, none of them are talking about doing any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's somebody from that state. Like hopefully a senator, I don't know, somebody in that state should come up and try to get that. Like if the state doesn't allow that, they should be able to come up with a fund for the people to go to another state to have it done.
Do you favor ICE being able to go into residences and in dwellings without the typical judicial warrant that used to be required? You think that's good?
Well, if ICE knows that there's like an illegal immigrant that's in that residential area, and they have the documentation and all that going into that area, yes, I agree with that. But if they don't have no documentation being in that area, I don't believe they should be in that area.
You're okay with them wearing masks and things like that, so anybody who may have a complaint against ICE has no way of identifying who they have a complaint with?
Oh, yeah. We've been wearing masks for the last 3 years, 2021, 22.
You ain't been arresting nobody with a COVID mask on. What are you talking about? You ain't went around arresting people wearing a COVID mask. That's a little bit different. I think you taking that way out of context.
I was just making a joke out of it.
I know it. I'm laughing at it because that ain't been happening. When next time I see a guy with a ventilator on, putting somebody up against a wall and handcuffing them, I'll think of you. I'll give you the last word because I do got to move on. But
okay, Tim.
But you do support letting law enforcement walk around with no way to identify them. You actually support that.
They have to have. They should at least have like some kind of documentation that they're going to get a legal immigrant from that area before they go in. Storm that area.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just simply saying if an ICE member of ICE pulls over an American citizen, or an American citizen walks in and says somebody's, a member of ICE has roughed them up, they have no way to identify this guy. If ICE walks up to you and says, "Are you American? Can you speak English?" and they want to detain you, you have no way to identify who's fucking with you. Do you support that?
That's not right. No, I don't support that at all. I don't support that at all.
So you do then see we are losing some rights under Trump then. That didn't used to happen until he came up.
Yeah, like It's just like me going down the road and a police officer pulls me over and asks me for my ID, right? My identification.
Yeah, but you know what? You can get the cop's badge number. He's wearing his nameplate. You know who's pulling you over. These are just dudes in masks. You don't know who the hell this guy is.
Like, do these ICE people know that these people are driving that certain car? Or I don't believe that anybody should be pulling anybody out of any car.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. You're talking about from an ICE perspective. I'm talking about from a perspective of the citizen. If that citizen wants to file a report in regards to that interaction, he has no way to file a report on. He has no clue who he was just dealing with. He has to go down to the police station or whatever and say some dude in blue jeans and a mask mistreated me. That goes nowhere.
That's wrong. Tim, I'm totally on the same page with you on this one. That's totally wrong, because if they pulled me over without thinking who I am, and I go to the police station to make a report and I can't because I don't know who they are, that's totally wrong.
All right, then.
Because they should have verified who they are. Just like when a police officer pulls you over, you can ask for his badge number and his name.
I'm starting to think you might have voted the wrong way there, Snowbird.
No, I didn't, because I know what's going down right now. And I did not vote the wrong way, because there's a lot more going on than what we think. And
you voted for the man. There's a lot more going on than what we think, as you say. And you literally voted for the man that tweeted, "Stop talking about it." That makes sense?
No. Tim, think of this. Think of why did they impeach him twice? Why did they try to kill him? Why do they all of a sudden all want to hate him?
Why did he say stop talking about Epstein?
He wants the Epstein files out. He was the whistleblower in 2006.
Why would he say stop talking about it?
Because he probably wants to go on to the next. I don't know why he said that.
Go on to the next when nobody has received justice. Why would you want to go on when nobody?
He's trapping you guys, because he's trapping you, because he's saying that for you can keep talking about it.
Nobody's got justice, ma'am. Of course they're gonna keep talking about it. Nobody has received justice. You want them to all be quiet and just let it happen? Keep in mind, people who abuse children, there's a reason they put you on the sex offender registry, because they believe you'll do it again. We have held nobody accountable. So that means all of these folks that abuse them people are all free and could be doing it to other folks. You want them to stop talking about it?
No, I'm 100% behind what you're saying. We're just as peed off too. But the thing is,
you don't sound peed off to me at all.
You know what? The best thing for you guys to do is quit talking crap about Trump, pull together as one, and fight for these children. That's what we need to do.
Why can't the man in office do that?
Because maybe he's waiting for us to do it. Why are we just sitting there and letting all this shit happen to us?
Fair enough. I got to move it on, Snow, but I can talk to you all day. You can come back anytime you want. Interesting cover. We don't agree, but same. Come on back anytime. All right, moving on with the program. By the way, tap the screen. I'm going to ask you folks to get your boy up to 50,000. Help your boy out with the head mustache. TikTok cap go. You know what I always say. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to smash that like button. We're here Monday through Friday, or better yet on the weekdays. Joe Balsimo says, "Lady, you don't know what you're talking about. Be nice to my guest. Be nice to the guest." You got me over here taking one for the team. Help your boy out with the TikTok count. Go. There you go. DJ D's and who sent that? I do want to make sure I acknowledge that. Rodis, thank you very much. That was insane, says Brismo Better. Yikes. Give me immunity and a list. You know, maybe they should give, one way we might be to get to the bottom of this, DJ D's. Thank you very much. We need perhaps one of the international one of the folks that are going down internationally to be given some sort of deal to roll over. I mean, Prince Andrew, them folks know what was going on too. They know some Americans that were involved in that, because they had to have a liaison. The folks overseas didn't just get straight through to Epstein. They had liaisons and things like that. So hopefully one of those countries gives one of them some sort of, if we can give Ghislaine Maxwell that, give one of them some sort of decent deal and try to get one of them to flip. and then relay the information back to us, because it does not seem like the powers that be in this country are interested in holding these people accountable. Tap the screen, get us on up to 50,000. We'll take the next caller.
The Epstein Files Transparency Act that I introduced with Ben Ray Lujan in the Senate was crystal clear. No record shall be withheld, delayed, or redacted on the basis of any of the following: embarrassment, reputational harm, political sensitivity, including any government official, public figure, or foreign dignitary. Well, here we are. Those 99 days have passed, and what we have seen is the files have not been released according to the law. We have seen that victims' names and photos that were supposed to be redacted weren't redacted, and all kinds of redactions appear to have occurred for folks who are potential perpetrators. And we're seeing the Epstein files reverberate across the world.
Listen to this.
The Prime Minister of Norway, the former ambassador from Britain to the United States, King Charles' brother. But what about here in the United States of America? Why is there no accountability here in the United States of America for these atrocious crimes, the place where they occurred?
Think about that. The prime minister of Norway, is facing the music. You heard Prince Andrew's facing the music, ambassadors, and he makes an interesting point. Like, why the hell are they doing shit about this overseas, and over here where we actually are abusing the kids, we ain't doing shit about it? Now, this is something I would also entertain with my last caller, who said that Trump is, not on this, and Trump is trying to get to the bottom of it. Why is that? Why is this happening here in America? They actually released photos of the victims with their names. These are kids, nude. They released that, but redacted the names of the people that may have abused them. How the hell does that work? How does that can't be accidental. You release people who have actually been abused as a kid and their nude photos, but the grown-ass men or even women that may have done it, you redacted their names. How the hell does that happen? Moving on with the program, get us up to 50,000. Looking in the comments, that was hard mental gymnastics last call. Total cringe, says Colonel. I'm gonna leave that at that with throw my hands up. Evil B boy, Evil B by Boo. You trying to give me a tongue twister there? Evil B by Boo says, Tim, your last caller, she might be a late baby boomer. She might be taking the red or blue pill. What she's saying doesn't make any sense. Well, we like to let the people speak. We don't block, ban, or censor. Our program is, always shall be, MAGA friendly. But we go left of Bernie Sanders to our comments being, literally, I'm sleeping with Q. I'm having dinner with Q. Left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. So this is uncensored programming. Get us up to 50,000. We'll take the next caller. Looking in the comments here, thank you so much. We are all wondering, too. The answer is Trump, Bondi, DOJ, and FBI, etc. I don't see how Pam Bondi makes it out of this. Trump will be fine. Trump's going to ride off into the sunset, a very wealthy old man, never doing a day behind bars. Trump is fine. But Pam Bondi and some of them folks, Pam Bondi still got a lot of years on earth. There will be a day where things are probably not going to be favorable for her. I don't know how much pardoning Trump can do, but we'll find out. We're going to find out the scope and power of a presidential pardon when Trump leaves office, because it's going to have to be fairly broad and encompassing. Senate Democrats will be reviewing redacted files next week. Let's see what they find out. Yeah, I didn't think this would be this deep. As my last caller was talking about how evil and satanic, I didn't think this shit would be this deep. To being honest, I didn't think the Trump administration would be this evasive with it either, though. I mean, look, we had our suspicions and things like that, but I didn't think the Trump administration would be trying to fight to hide this as much as he is. Last caller was a bugaboo with someone feeling liquid shits talking points. Wow. Well, you fucking voted for this, says Jared Watkins. America voted for it, right? Didn't America vote for this? Justice for thee, not for me. MAGA says sub. Going back to the box, We'll make it happen with Mike the Boss. Good evening. Welcome to the program, Mike. You were called up from the Jeremy Foundation. Good evening, Mike. And Mr. G says, we're not going to let that slide. Sleeping with Q. You were, I meant to say having dinner with Q. Mike, you're very astute. You got some really good ears there. Good evening, Mike.
What's up, brother?
Not much, just hanging around like Jesse Jackson at a clan meet. May he rest in peace.
Man, boy,
So,
not anymore.
Not anymore. The late great Jesse Jackson. Isn't he lying in state now in South Carolina? Didn't they help him out?
They may have done it there, but you know, this administration wasn't going to do shit. They weren't even going to drop the flags half staff. But I want to move past that first of all, because I wanted to make sure that I took some notes. First of all, Snowbird has lost her rabbit ass mind, because everything that she said, that she agreed on about, you know, women having autonomy of their bodies, children should eat, I should identify themselves, is not what they ever told her they were going to fucking do. So I told you, Tim, they want to be comfortable. She didn't want the smoke. See, Snowbird, I'm positive. What you said and what you said and what you voted for are not the same. When Tim said, maybe you voted the wrong way, you pushed back very aggressively. You think we don't know what's going on. I respectfully don't believe you know what's going on. But I'm going to get back to that in a second.
All right.
And I'm going to explain why too, Tim. I mean, I'm not going after her because I actually can appreciate, but I'm going to say this.
But she says that's the problem with you Democrats. You're always speaking about shit you don't know, though.
Yeah, okay, check this out. Just because you're palatable doesn't admonish you from being complicit. You voted for this. They were already talking about making cuts with the big, beautiful bill to the programs you said you believe children should have access to. Yeah. That's a complete contradiction from what you voted for and what they did, and they told you they were going to do it. Yeah. The fact that you believe I should identify themselves, but this administration is going out of their way to not make that a requirement, and you're still okay with the administration, is a contradiction. I can keep going.
Here's something I really do not understand. Because you do have a lot of folks on the right that suggest, you know, ICE could be doxxed and, you know, they don't want people going in and messing with their families. So they're using that to suggest a reason for why it should be legitimate for ICE to cover up their identities. But what's crazy is while we're allowing ICE to remain anonymous, ICE is going around doing facial scans and license plate scans of citizens and doing some doxing of their own. They're doing putting you on terrorist watch lists and everything. They're literally putting the citizens in terms of cancel culture. So you can't cancel the ICE agent that fucked with you, but now he can put you on terrorist lists and all kinds of stuff and actually fuck with you. I can't understand that.
Tim, that's my whole point. But if you know that, listen, I am by no means a genius. And I'm not going to speak for your level of being a genius or not.
I'm not.
But if we can find this shit, how come they can't find it, Tim? They don't want to. They want to be.
Well,
Tim.
In defense of my beloved MAGA, gangster grandma wouldn't like this, but in defense of MAGA, I am going to say that we all do tend to get our media. Maybe not you, maybe not some of us who watch a healthy, watch media from all sides of the aisle, but most Americans get their media from outlets that kind of think like them. And the fact is, if you lean right, Newsmax, OAN, Fox, some of the AM conservative shows, they're not going to tell you that ICE is doxing people. They're not going to tell you that ICE is going in people's houses without a warrant. They're going to tell you what people are doing wrong to ICE. They're not going to cover stories about what ICE is doing wrong to people. So the people think that ICE is just doing their job, and if you simply comply with the law and don't interfere, you would be okay. Because they're not covering the stories of ICE fucking with people.
That's lazy. I'm not giving them that fucking excuse, Tim. Listen, these motherfuckers ain't no more busy than I am. They're no more busy than you are. That's bullshit. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go get more information, or don't come on a platform professing to know this shit and you don't. I'm not giving them that shit. Let me give you another example.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Well, then before you do that, I will say this. If you don't trust, because the only way they're going to find out how ICE is fucking with people just like people are fucking with ICE. The only way they're going to find out is that it's a two-sided coin is they're going to have to get their media from outlets that they don't trust. So if ICE tells them,
lazy.
well, I'm just telling you, they don't, outside of the right-wing outlets, they think the rest of that shit is false. It's fake news.
Okay, then again, so all I'm saying to you is, Tim, first, let me give you a perfect example. I'm going to get back to
Blue one.
Go ahead. I'm going to give you a perfect example. So right now, today, Trump is seeking an executive order to ban mail-in voting and voting machines. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know but we know he never liked mail-in voting, but
no, he's trying to seek an executive order, right, under the guise of a national emergency because of unfounded reports of China's interference in elections. It's the same play for everything. They're going to try to say national state of emergency with no evidence to try to influence where we're going. No, that's not me. That's what I've read.
You gotta give a shout out to President Trump. He's able to do a lot just based on allegations. I mean, that's the whole reason that voter ID stuff is happening now is he said something is happening. Look, he can literally create the fire and then all of a sudden, get credit for putting it out. I mean, I'm with you. There's no proof any of this stuff has ever happened. I mean, but that's kind of what he's been able to get away with, Mike.
Well, here's the thing. I know that. I'm up here sharing news that these people, Snowbird, Jeremy, Straight Talk Commerce, DJ Julian, they don't even, if I'm wrong, fact check me, you guys. You guys always talking about I'm wrong. Go fucking fact check me then. But the funny thing is I can turn on my camera and show you everything that I'm talking about.
But that goes back to what I just told you, Mike. If they fact check you, chances are the evidence that you are correct is going to come from a source that they think is full of fake news.
Again, so every source, every other source other than the one they're
right. That's the conundrum is that if Trump says something, the only way to prove Trump wrong is to get the information from a news source you don't trust, because all the news sources you do trust is backing Trump up.
Okay, so check this out. And I don't disagree with you. I'm fact checking them as they come up before me. For example, Jeremy's dumbass. Urban, suburban, and rural are completely different. Jeremy, if you're still here, ding dong. Urban, suburban, and rural are different. When you talk about where we get our produce from, that's rural. That's not suburban. You don't know what you're talking about. You keep talking about this shit. You don't know what you're talking about. But here's the thing, Tim. And by the way, suburban communities don't generate a lot of revenue to the bottom line of cities. That's just absurd.
I gotta interrupt you. I gotta interrupt you before I'll let you continue. We'll give you time. One of my last caller, Snowbird, she says, why do what did she say? See, why did she's asking? The wording looks like it's off. That's why I'm stuttering. It says why didn't you guys have to call people names all the time? I don't get it. In other words, why can't you get your point across without the insult? Now she voted for Trump and she's asking this question, but I'm going to ask you, why can't you say? Because didn't he just call Ilhan Omar? What did he call her? Some kind of screaming lunatic with buck eyes or something. I had the notes here, but she voted for Trump and she's questioning name calling. But I am asking you, go ahead and answer her question. Why are you name calling?
Hey, listen. I'm just calling it like I see it, and the audacity for you to even say that to me when you voted for somebody that's all he does is absurd. You guys are just walking hypocrites. But let me say this real quick.
Go ahead.
See, somebody reported because I got a restriction, so I'm gonna have to drop it in a second. 19% of U.S. children come from food insecure households in this country. For CK to say what he said, about people he doesn't know what he's talking about, and they support him. This is easy to find. Household insecure food households is common. 1 out of 5 children in this country are under those conditions.
You're responding to the notion that Charlie Kirk indicated that there is no child going hungry in America.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again,
I was one of them motherfucking kids, so I know there was times when he had food in our house. So yeah, I know that ain't true.
It's not true. And not only that, and now with the big beautiful bill, they've cut more resources. So what are we talking about? Be factual when you come up here, because I know I got to drop. I don't want to, because somebody reported me. Just be factual. Go do some research. Stop just believe in everything he tells you because you want to be comfortable. It's just sad. It's sad because they don't know what they're talking about. And Bama, by the way, you need to go look up those pages that were missing, and you will know what NPR and the other news outlets reported. Those pages that were missing, they already know what's on them. And I would get into it, but somebody reported me because I've read, because eyes can read.
I'll get into it before the next caller. I know exactly what.
But let me ask you this. I'm not even going to get into it, but it's not, see, that's the thing, Pizza Lover. You guys just don't read. Tim, I'm going to say this before I drop. Those redacted pages that they found, those are exactly what they were saying was missing. Credible evidence from a victim. Yes or no, Tim?
Yes. Okay. I'll cover it. All right. All right, Mike. Sorry to see you go so early. You know I can talk to you forever. Come on back anytime, man.
But I got the restrictions, so I'm out.
All right.
And listen, y'all can pay the fee to come. You can always pay your galaxies, like Tim said, but be prepared.
Yeah, from now on, for you folks that don't know that, from now on my TikTok viewers, if you want to debate a guest, send a galaxy. I will, because I don't normally take but one guest at a time, but a lot of you folks hear people that you think are so fucking ignorant that don't know what they're talking about that you want to get on the program and actually let them know what the hell they're getting wrong and set them straight. If you donate a galaxy, I will bring you up with that person and give you 5 to 10 minutes to set them straight, perhaps even set me straight. That is the new rules going forward. So thank you for bringing that up, Mike.
Yes, sir. And I thought it was 5 galaxies, but do you?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right. Catch you next time. All right. Moving on with the program. Real quick, what he was talking about. When they released the Epstein files, there's 50 some odd pages that are missing. The pages are numbered, so they were able to easily tell, like the index shows, like you guys skipped some shit. Those pages, because apparently folks have seen what's in the pages privately, but when they released them publicly, the information was gone. So what was in the pages? The FBI interviewed a 13-year-old girl 4 times. 4 different times. So they're not interviewing you 4 times unless they really feel you got something to give them. 4 times, a 13-year-old, by the way. They interviewed a 13-year-old 4 times. The girl told the FBI that in 1983, Epstein and Trump violated her innocence. So, and this is something I would probably tailor at my caller before, Mike Snowbird, who said with confidence she don't believe Trump is in the files. Why would they take that stuff out? Why is that missing? Now the Bondi, I want to say Bondi administration, but Pam Bondi, the Justice Department, they're claiming they're going to look into it. Why is getting to the bottom of this shit so hard under Trump? Why is this such a drip effort? And bringing up Obama or Biden and how they handled it is not a defense for the fuckery we see going on now. If you want to suggest that Biden or Obama could have released it and they didn't and they screwed up, I'm willing to entertain it. I'm not here to defend Biden or Obama. But that is not a defense for what Trump's administration is doing right now. That's a deflection. That is not a defense for any of that's going on right now. Coach, appreciate the hat mustache. Yeah, thank you very much. Same James Harper. Why is this so difficult for them to let this shit out? So now they have this act that the Senate is trying to pass, forcing them to essentially keep the records intact. Because not only is the Trump administration refusing to release the records, they also believe that they're going to try to destroy some shit. So they're trying to pass some sort of legislation that prevents them from destroying records. This is crazy. Badass. Good evening.
You could have said thank you. I get it, your ugly ass.
I didn't see it, goddammit. I got a lot going on, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you can't see nothing unless it's white.
What are you getting at? What the hell are you talking about?
You know what exactly what I'm talking cook protein looking ass.
What are these?
You know what?
You know what? You know what you need? You need to be trapped inside of a cage with a white man until you learn to love him.
Hell no.
Until you learn to love him.
Oh hell no.
I think you got a problem.
They gonna make it.
Yes.
I'll put their asses on a t-shirt.
And real quick, Will G says it's a cult. Trump and MAGA ain't shit. I'll leave it at that. That's what's in the comments. You need to be trapped in a cage somebody with a white man until you learn to love him.
You need to be trapped in a cage with a black woman and get back to your roots instead of kissing ass to the white tea cockroaches. That's what you need to do. And quit drinking that damn protein because it's really not suiting you. Chocolate protein suits me very fine. I got my ass, my titties, all natural. Thank you.
Okay, Cardi B.
You know what's funny?
What?
They really do think I am so racist, but I really am not. I just don't like the maggots. Unfortunately, the good white tea people, I will be with. I'm cool. I'll chill with.
You know what you sound like? First of all, you do sound racist. You sound like somebody who says, I don't have a problem. Hold on. You sound like somebody who says, hang on. You sound like somebody. Hold on. You got plenty of time to cuss me out. Hang on. You sound like somebody who often said when the racists on the other side say, I don't have a problem with black people. I just have a problem with the N-word. You sound like that as a black person.
You know what? No, I do not.
Yes,
you know
you
what
do.
you sound like? You ratty raccoon looking, bald-headed, fat fucking ass.
Oh,
Let me tell you
wow!
what you sound like.
How many
You sound
commas
like
was
Dr. Mouth,
how many
thinking
commas
that you
was
will
between
sit
all
at
those
their
adjectives?
table. I tell the truth. I put them in their place. They come for us every fucking time. They sit up here with their little tooty asses up, say, well, you know what? He's doing this for us, and he's doing that for us. And like Jeremy, what does he make? $15 an hour? So he's not poor? I make more than he do. Okay? $15 an hour. Telling kids that they shouldn't eat. But his right tooty looking ass is giving our money to the other countries. I'd rather have my money go to kids that go hungry in the United States. That's America first. I don't force birth any kid. If somebody wants an AB, that's their body, they can do it. I don't put a zygote over a child. You call a zygote a child. A zygote is a zygote that don't have no brain, they don't have a nervous system or nothing like that. I rather have a living child.
Wait a minute. They don't have a nervous system. It depends on what.
Nope, not at no 6 weeks. No, they do not. It's called zygote.
But you do realize people terminate children beyond 6 weeks, right?
It's not a child. A child is a living body. Okay? Let's get this shit straight. A fetus is in our body. It's not a child. And let me get this shit straight. You know, in the Bible, see, people, when they say they read the Bible, no, they pick and choose. God said in the Bible over 5 times from Genesis to Luke that life starts out at first breath. God breathed in to Adam. And he said, that's when life starts. At first breath.
Okay.
So that's technically when the fetus is born, they take the first breath. That's when life.
I like the way I like the way you orated that. I like the way. And by the way, real quick, I want to interrupt and say I got News Nation on behind me. Apparently, Flavor Flav, the rapper from Public Enemy, just invited the women's Olympic team to his party. So shout out to Flavor Flav, where the white women at. So the Olympic hockey, the women's hockey team that didn't go to the State of the Union, Flavor Flav got them. So it sounds like that's what's going to happen. But I like the way you read that.
That's the truth, though. See, the so-called fake Christians, they read the Bible when it's convenient for them. But see, they didn't read the whole Bible, because in Genesis, God made Adam and breathed his first breath. And then he went to Luke and all the other Bible, and all the other parts of the Bible say at first breath. See, that's what they be picking and choosing. See, I am pro-life. You know why I'm pro-life? It's because of this. I don't want to take food stamps away from babies. I don't want to take their free lunches from babies. You know what I mean? They are babies. They're children. That's what pro-life is. They want you to push out a kid and then say this, well, you know, now you can afford it. Go do it short. You know why? Because they want white kids. They want the interbred kids. Because you know why? Because black and brown people were coming on up. Like the Jeffersons say, it's going to be more of us.
But wait a minute. Let me ask you this, because Angry Patriot says low life. He said it's actually at first conception. Is there anywhere in the Bible that says life begins at conception?
Nope. God made Adam out of dirt. God breathed into Adam's nostrils. See, this is what you motherfuckers don't read the book of Bible about, huh? He breathed into Adam's nostrils and said this. The life begins at first breath. That's what it says. Okay. It's in Genesis all the way to Luke. Hello. See, I came from a Christian family. I came from a black pastor. And that's what they say in the Bible.
Well, like I said, I'm going to admit, I'm going to admit I don't read the Bible like that. Real quick in the comments, Mr. G says FBI agents. Hold on. FBI agents were fired after I heard about this. FBI agents were fired after they got done scrubbing the files. Don't be surprised if something bad happens to them covering tracks. In regards to this whole Epstein thing, why do you think the Trump administration is so, I guess, hesitant to get the information out there? And by the way,
they're not hesitant. They don't want it to come out. Oh my God, he ran on it, right? He ran on it. Oh, we're going to let them all out. We're going to let everything out. We're going to get all the perpetrators out, right? Oh, but when his people told him, all his name's all up in it. All up deep in this stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, now it's a Democrat host. And, oh, we don't need it to come out. And, oh, they're hiding it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, why would he say it's a Democrat hoax? This goes way beyond. I mean, it's international, so it's well beyond Democrats.
Are dumb as a bag of dum-dums. And they'll believe anything that orange Jesus says.
Orange Jesus?
Yeah, I swear to God, I think he's the orange Jesus. Well, he's the Antichrist. He needs to go eat a couple more Big Macs to kick the bucket. I'll be hallelujah.
But that ain't gonna happen. He's fit as a fit.
It's gonna happen.
He's a lot more fit.
I have a feeling that one day we're gonna wake up and it's gonna say breaking news. He's not alive. And you know what I want to say? Hallelujah. Do you know how many people is gonna be dancing in the streets over? Oh, I gotta be nice.
You know what you're talking about is far more likely to happen to this guy. This is a guy you may hear that loses his life.
I think you need to back up because he has cancer and he's fighting for his life. And you know what? He was a good person, and guess what? He gave to the black community.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just simply saying that this Trump is a lot more healthy than this guy. He's a lot more fit than this guy.
He takes aspirin like 325 milligrams every day, and he's doing something because his hands are all bruised up. Oh, he's not. His ankles are swollen. Oh no, he's not as healthy as he says he is.
I mean, he could be because he maintains
he really does need to go see the. He needs to go see the devil.
Wait. I thought you were about to say the doctor. He needs to go see the devil? Jesus.
Yeah, I promise you. Do you know how many people would celebrate?
Oh, my God.
Do you know the world would be happy? The world. Do you know people don't like him?
That is not true. If something happened to Trump, these people right here would not be happy. So that's not true.
Okay. I'll give him a cookie. Okay, I gave him a chocolate chip cookie.
Hold on. In SGB in the comments makes a great point. The Department of Justice is supposed to work independently of the White House. That's why they were not released by Biden. It was not his call. Absolutely.
No, that's not necessarily true. The reason why they did not release them is because they were sealed because the woman was trying to appeal and stuff. They could not do it because they were sealed. That's why people gotta get educated. That's why the system fails people in the United States. That's why a lot of people voted for this clown because they got uneducated and they believed the con artist and a rapist. They didn't want to believe a black woman that wouldn't put us in a war that we're fixed to go to. They thought that she was gonna be PMSing and oh my God.
Well, how about this?
Hormones.
Well, you got a fan gangster grandma. Evil Bebo says Tim, tell Gangsta Grandma she is wonderful and she is the shit. Also, we need to show these ignorant MAGA rats how it is done. Yikes. Why would you call them rats? What are they?
They are. They're the bottom of the bucket of the feeders.
You know they say
hell, rat is more intelligent than they is.
You know they say the same about liberals that don't know who the hell a woman is. So you know they say the same thing.
Okay, let me tell you what. See, I'm so sick of this, but you know what though? I'd rather have a trans woman sitting next to me than a pedophile. We're not going out. We are not protecting pedos.
Well,
we are not doing that.
You do understand that MAGA sees both of those as one and the same, right?
What?
Trans and people? They think they're both kind of the same, under the same umbrella.
Let me tell you something. I feel more comfortable going into a woman's space with a trans woman taking a piss, and they're not going to grape me, than having a white teen man walking up in there and trying to grape me. They are They are the most dangerous of them all. And who's all up in the Epstein files? White teen men.
Is there anybody black in that? Is there any color in those files?
No. Only black little girls. No. Wow. There's not. All white tea. All white tea.
Well,
they are the most dangerous. The white tea straight men are the most dangerous.
Well, speaking of straight talk commerce wants
straight. I'm bisexual. I like chocolate cookie and chocolate dangling. I love it all.
Well, speaking of straight,
I'm not like you.
Okay,
I stick to my own kind.
What the fuck? Straight talk commerce says
you like the roast beef looking red. People can just dig up in and you can't feel the wall.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
You would fuck anything if you fuck that woman.
Who are you talking about?
Manaya, you said you would fuck her.
I didn't say that. That didn't come out. We run a respectable program here.
Her legs are wide open like the border is.
Well, no, listen.
Feel the walls.
For clarity, I did say the nude photos of Melania Trump. She didn't look that bad nude.
She does look bad. Oh my God, I tell you. That's a snow roach on crack, for real.
I thought she was a model.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't take it for the team. Nope. Hell to the fuck. Nope.
I thought she was
JJ all day.
Well, and I tell you one thing. Talk says, I want to remind you, Democrats, this is who you voted with. He's suggesting that.
You know what? Yes, and they'll vote with me again. Because you know why? Straight talk, they're not delusional like you kookaburra looking mofo. You over here saying everything. See, Tim won't call your ass out for being racist and stuff, but I will. So why don't you pay like a galaxy and come up in here and talk to me?
Whoa. A guest is calling him out. Wow.
Yeah, tell the pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everybody wants my happy ass up here more than 15 minutes. They even your own cousin likes my fat ass. And they ought to. Yes, buddy. Okay. See, they want me to be your co-host. Because I will come after their asses. You like this. Come on, buttercup.
No, listen. I believe in showing my guests respect. Is there anything wrong with that? No matter what their political affiliation is.
Tim, and he called you ignorant. And let me tell you something. Straight talk. The only one that call him ignorant is my ass. My ass can do that. Only.
How does that happen? How did you get such a privilege?
Because I'm your bitch. That's why. I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right.
So, I am your TikTok life that would choke you the hell out. I'll just play.
All right, okay. All right. Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh, no. All right, so.
I will bang you upside your damn coconut. I really want to do that because you get on my damn nerves, on God. I have to roll blunts to be with you. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I believe in letting the people speak. MAGA, I respect MAGA just as much as I do liberals.
How you gonna respect somebody that don't respect you, you ugly ass? How is it that they don't respect us? They voted to hate us. They voted to kick us out of here. And they knew what he was about. And they're still hanging with him. That's racist right there.
How do you respect them?
him.
Give me what's making you say that MAGA voted to get us kicked out? What are you talking? We're citizens. What are you talking about?
He ran on it, Tim. He ran on it. He called us that we was the black and brown people. Our blood was tainted and stuff. He ran on all the hate and stuff, Tim. And then these little maggots come up here. No, we're not racist. You voted for the Triple K, and then you
wait a minute. Hold on. You're trying to tell me that Trump said black blood is tainted? Where do you hear something like that at?
He said it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He said black and brown people, our blood is tainted. He doesn't want their blood tainted.
No, he said.
Yes,
I know what he said. And you're blaming things on Trump that he didn't do. What Trump said.
Oh, he didn't say that?
No, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you. Hold on. I know what he said. I know what he said. You are wrong. What he said is he said is illegal immigrants are poisoning the blood of this country, and they are vermin.
What do you think they? Oh my fuck. Okay, Tim, you're stupid. I cannot do it. You're ignorant and you're stupid. What color are the immigrants? What color are they, Tim?
They're various colors. They're various.
Black and brown.
They're various shades of brown. They're various shades of brown.
White. The black and brown. What color are we? What color are we?
He's
We're
not
black and brown.
He's not.
Thank you.
So you believe wait. So you're telling me
checkmate.
We're not playing chess.
Checkmate.
We're not playing.
Checkmate. I just checked your black ass. Shut the hell up.
So you're telling me you believe that Trump wants to get black African Americans out of the country?
After you do with the Browns, they're coming for us. History's repeating itself. I'm telling you, W back in the 30s and stuff. What you think black people's the only one that got lynched and got hung? No, it was brown people too. People always listen to the white tea man's history. No, it's black and brown history. The real history is repeating itself right now. He called us vermin. He said that the immigrants is tainting the blood. He said it's black and brown. He's not deporting the white tea man. We're not white.
How about
he
this?
Didn't say that to the white people.
How about this?
Our blood?
Jeffrey in the comments says she keeps talking about skin color. That makes her racist. So he's suggesting you are a racist.
You know what? White people are the one that made racism. Okay, they made it. Okay, they made this. You know, they made all this hate. Okay, they made this. And then when we tell them that they made this shit and what the white team man in office is saying about us, oh, we're racist now, right? We're racist, right? I give you the same bullshit and we give it to you on a platter and we give it right back to you. Oh, now I'm racist. Get the fuck out of here. You cornball motherfuckers, you.
I think you may be blaming Trump for stuff he didn't do or say.
He said the illegal immigrants is tainted our blood. What do you think he meant, Tim? Get your mouth off of the white teacup and just think about it. He wasn't talking about the white tea people. He was talking about who? Black and brown people.
Okay.
The undocumented immigrants. The black and brown, Tim.
That is not us. African Americans are not illegal immigrants, gangster. You don't know what you're talking about.
He's just kicking out the damn Haitians. They're not black. He's kicking out the Jamaicans. They're not black. The Cubans. They're black too. Dominican like me. I'm black. You're stupid if you think, oh, he's not going to kick us out. You're stupid to believe that. He's kicking out black people too. That's ignorant.
I'm just telling you, you are accusing President Trump of doing things he didn't campaign on doing. And I see, unfortunately, the TikTok gods got Gangsta Grandma again, but she pretty much got a complete conversation in. They did take her down. That always happens with Gangsta. Gangsta Grandma is always passionate and thorough in her conversation. She's always welcome back. We get folks on the left and right that speaks their mind, so understand we don't block, ban, or censor. Real quick before we go to the next caller, if you favor uncensored programming, you're in the right place. I'm going to ask if you're watching us on Instagram, TikTok or Substack to follow the program. If you're currently watching us live on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We're here most weekdays. And by the way, for my YouTube viewers, I really need you to tap that like button. It helps out with the algorithm. What do we say? It brings in more MAGA. This is a MAGA-friendly program, but most of my MAGA viewers are on YouTube. So I'm asking you folks on YouTube, tap that damn like button. We're taking a beating for your entertainment. It doesn't cost you a penny to smash that like button. Give your boy a sub. Looking in the comments here, I love being able to write off my overtime. I'm getting more in my refund than ever before. Well, what is the cap on Trump's no tax on overtime and tips? It's not that high. I don't know what your income is, sir, but that is capped. What is it, 12.5? Or see, King Finn says 12.5. So $12,500 of your overtime, you don't have to pay taxes on that. I mean, if that amounts to a whole lot of cash in your book, then, congratulations. But look, I know when I used to work for the AT&T, I was an International Brotherhood of Electrical Worker, and I got a ton of overtime. I made a lot more than 12.5 in overtime, and I was back in the late 90s and early 2000s. 12.5 ain't that much. I'm not taking away from the fact that it's good that he's not putting tax on your overtime, but to me, the ceiling for that should be way fucking higher than that. It should be way higher than that. I mean, no tax on overtime up to $40,000 a year. How about that? 12.5? I don't think that's a lot. Looking in the comments here, Mr. G says they say the same people saying it's the government's job to protect citizens from illegals are the same people that couldn't protect citizens from a virus. Let me read that again. The same people saying it's the government's job to protect citizens from illegal aliens are the same people that could not protect citizens from a virus. Strong language. Well, first of all, they didn't believe the virus. And that's another poor rollout by President Trump. I don't think Trump's first term was that bad. I didn't think he did that bad in the first term. He inherited a good economy. He maintained a good economy up to the pandemic. But his handling of the pandemic was dismal. And that's one of the products of Trump's first term with the handling of the pandemic is a lot of folks didn't believe the virus was a serious threat. So you said the government can't protect people from a virus. They believed in like herd immunity. Just let a few people die off, and the rest of the survivors will just become immune to it. That's kind of that's the mindset they had with it. So that's where that came from. Let me go back to the box. President pedo Zionist cook taking us to another Zio war. Sailors on aircraft carriers stuff T-shirts down their heads. Why would they be stuffing T-shirts down their heads? That doesn't make any sense. It's 12.5 for just the time and a half, so it's 37.5 can be written off in total overtime. Huh? Are you sure about that? You're saying it's 12.5 just for the time and a half, so it's 37.5 that can be written off in total overtime. I don't think that's true. I'd have to see where you're getting those. I don't think those numbers are right. I'm just going to tell you, maybe you're right, but I don't believe that's accurate. Imagine if this was his first term and he was doing what he's doing now. Would you vote for me? I didn't vote for Trump at all. I just think that his first term, because I told you when he started talking about giving police immunity in liberal cities if you reelect them, that was a deal breaker for me. I didn't vote for him at all, but I didn't think what he did his first term was that bad. I think his second term, look, there's a few things you could say here or there that benefited African Americans and things like that. There's nothing in his second term. If the question is, what has Trump done for African Americans? Folks that defend Trump are going to cite things from his first term. There's nothing in his second term to bring up. So, no, it's a little bit different with that. Let me go back to the box. We'll make it happen with Straight Talk Commerce. Good evening. Welcome. Oh, we got Coach. Coach, good evening. Welcome to the program.
What's up, you handsome little devil, you?
You sound like Gangsta Grandma. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm hanging around.
I'm here to break news. I'm here to show you how to give 75 million liberals a heart attack.
75 million liberals a heart attack all simultaneously. Go.
So first and foremost, I'm going to show you in a second. But question for you.
Sure.
Do you think it'd be bad if Trump was in the e-files?
Not to MAGA, no. Look, I believe that right now, I believe in this country, most folks already have their minds made up. I believe that folks that are on the left, just either for hatred of Trump or due to his evasive actions, already have their mind made up. He's in the e-files. The independents are kind of, probably all over the place. And MAGA, I don't think it's going to matter with MAGA. I think even if a video came out of him literally banging on a child, I don't think MAGA would give a shit. They would say that, look, compared to the liberals, he ain't the best. I don't like everything he does, but he's still way better than Kamala Harris.
That's fair. That's fair. So what's your thoughts on the midterms? Do you think it's a done deal? Who do you think will win?
I think.
Or do you think there's a lot?
I haven't heard.
Yet?
I really haven't heard of any analyst that suggests that the Republicans are going to do well in the midterms. I think it's a matter of how bad the outcome is. Just not only because of Trump's performance or a dislike for Trump or whatever, but traditionally the incumbent loses in the midterms. The shellacking that Obama took. Trump took a beating in his first midterms. George W. Bush lost in the midterms. That's what normally happens. But when you look at Trump's poll numbers going into this, they're terrible.
And I agree with that too, but I do think we're in the second inning of. I think there's a lot that can play out before then.
Yeah,
I think
like a war.
Economically, yeah. Well, I think people's money ultimately is what they vote on first and foremost.
True.
And what do you think of this? Do you think it's out of the question that we magically 2 weeks before election get a Doge or tariff check in the mail, every single human? Would that be pretty neat?
Yeah, but I don't think, unfortunately, because Trump is so polarizing, I honestly don't think that alone would do it. I mean, that to me, imagine Kamala Harris and Biden, the way you perceive them handling the border, allowing children to have transgender surgery, all the stuff you guys think they were doing, letting people eat cats and dogs and shit. Can one of them have given you $4 or $5 grand and made you vote for them?
I mean, it'd help. Yeah.
That ain't what you would have voted if Kamala Harris had gave you a $5,000 stimulus check. You going Democrat?
If it made me richer overall, I would. Yeah.
If $5 grand is $5 grand, you're going to be $5 grand up.
If it ultimately made me richer, if it didn't cost me money and other things.
Yeah, but so in other words, if I give you $5 grand,
I can be bought, man.
Yeah, and see, I think that a lot of other folks are not in that category. I think because once the money's there, it ain't like you're gonna get $5 more grand coming down the pipe. That's gonna be it. So you're voting if you're on the left, you're voting for policing your cities to continue wearing masks and stopping folks without warrants. You're voting for all the stuff you don't like. You're voting for pro-life policies.
That's a fair point. But how many people live paycheck to paycheck? So that $5 grand is a lot to that.
So you gonna take $5 grand that would that would probably offset you living paycheck to paycheck for maybe a few months and put in basically what amounts to your nemesis for at least 2 more years, 4 more years going forward. Because of 5, that's all it takes is $5 grand to get you to do that. I don't even think you're being authentic when I asked you if you would vote for Kamala Harris for $5 grand. I don't believe you would.
But I don't care a whole lot who the president is, honestly. Like, they don't have a big, in my opinion, they've never had a meaningful impact. So like I said, if they're going to give me money and it's a net win, but like you said,
who'd you vote for? Who did you vote for?
Trump.
Why?
Economics.
Did you think how was Biden holding down the economy in your opinion?
He did good as well, but Trump did a little better with the stock market.
So you only see a slight difference between the two
from a stock market standpoint. But if you look at the data of money and households, Trump increased that, I believe, by 6,500 or 4,500.
First term
wages outweighed inflation under Trump.
First term. You're talking first term stuff, right?
Yeah, first term. Yeah. But again, I mean, those things are off to a good start this term as well.
Well, right now we've
And
seen
I like the consistency too. And again, I know there's factors. I know everybody throws, C19. C19 doesn't cause inflation. Reactions to C19 causes inflation.
No, C19 causes deaths.
Correct.
Yeah, he caused people to die. So they may have died with a stimulus check in their back pocket, but they're dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big difference.
Well, I mean, people died under both. Let's be honest.
People died under Trump because he was deliberately giving a mixed message. People were going to die no matter what, but the way Trump handled it probably increased those deaths significantly because he's trying to maintain a good economy while at the same time trying to do something about COVID and ignoring what the medical professionals are telling him because he's trying to keep the economy open. That you?
Wait. No, I don't
The hell is that?
That's not me.
That was pretty sexy. I don't know where that came from, but
yeah, it wasn't me.
Okay, I don't know what device made it over here either. Okay, but
in fairness, if you want to talk about things said, and I mean, you got to remember that next administration said it's a disease of the unvaccinated. If you take this vaccine, you won't die.
Wait. What happened?
You won't get COVID, they even said.
A disease of the unvaccinated. Well, from what I can tell, unless they gave inaccurate information, most of the people who have perished were unvaccinated.
No, actually, if you look at the data, which to me is why, and I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any means, I just don't think this specific vaccine did a whole lot. I don't think it caused all these side effects that people are saying either. But whenever the number of people, which if you look at the data, this is the way it was. When more people were unvaccinated, more people died. When more people were vaccinated, more vaccinated people died.
I don't know.
So that's not good from an efficacy standpoint when whichever the larger N it was had more deaths.
Let me just say it this way, because I have zero medical education. I don't have any medical background whatsoever. When I see the medical communities around the world all in unison saying, we want our citizens vaccinated, I'm going with that. To me, it's like if you and I are on a 747 and the both pilots are out and the thing is in a steep nosedive, and some guy steps up and says, well, I've been trained on Cessnas. I've never flown a jumbo jet, but I have been trained on, that's Dr. Fauci to me. This is an unknown aircraft, but you do have some training in this field. I'm going to go with that.
Well, you got to remember, Trump said to get vaccinated.
Trump made it sound like you can do it, it's optional, do it if you want. He wouldn't even tell us his own family had been vaccinated. He was hiding from us the fact that he had got vaccinated.
If you get vaccinated, you won't get COVID.
I'm just simply saying the fact that
that's your leader.
No, but
the scientist.
But your president, talking about Trump, had his whole family vaccinated and was not telling the public that. Why would you do that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to, but it's clear that the country is up in the air on whether or not to get vaccinated. Why would the president not let folks know what route he chose? That may help folks feel more. Because look, if the president can do it and survive, fuck it, I'll go ahead and give it a shot.
And I hear you, but let me give you the answer to it. Probably the same reason Biden or Trump don't tell you that anything's wrong with them.
Yeah,
but do you think Trump and Biden are completely healthy right now?
No, I don't. But to me, when it comes to their health versus them getting the vaccine, that's different because now I'm trying to decide whether or not to make a medical decision, and their information may give me some confidence. Them not telling me whether they've had a heart attack or something has nothing to do with me, but them telling me whether or not they're getting vaccinated at a time when people are dropping like flies, that means a lot. That's how you rally because listen, if the president has gotten this and some members of his administration has gotten it, it must be somewhat safe for them to do it. And I think he should have put that information out there.
All right, that's fair. Well, let me leave you with this. Let me show you how 75 million people, or liberals specifically, have a heart attack. Can you blow me up so I can show it on one click of the mouse?
I'll give you a moment. Go for it.
All right.
I'll explain this to my viewers that are watching on Substack and YouTube.
All right, so you guys know the Epstein file library, right?
Okay.
Where you can search, right?
What site is this? A government site?
Yeah, justice.gov/Epstein. You can do a search on any word in the Epstein files.
Okay.
So we put in Trump there.
Mm-hmm.
Now you ready? You're going to lose a lot of friends here, Tim. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
What's this say?
The guy who was supposedly in the files over 1 million times, 0 comes up on the government site.
Not in it anymore. You're in the files as much as he is now, Tim. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is exactly what your thoughts are, is that the list has been altered for Trump's benefit.
I mean, you're in it as much as he is, so am I.
But how do you feel about that? Because you're talking about the liberals having a heart attack. How do you feel about the fact that it appears that the president is literally scrubbing his name from a federal investigation?
So I think you and I actually talked about this before, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just because Trump says it, but with this specific issue, which obviously I don't agree with everything that Trump does, I actually do agree with him that there is no good of this stuff coming out at this point. And the reason I feel that way is everybody's already made up their own narrative. So no matter what, if they release every single thing today, unredacted, if it's not your narrative, you're not going to believe it. You're going to say he hid something, something was, scrubbed. And all it's going to do is continue to cause this divide, which I guess people will keep the divide going anyway.
Right.
Nobody's going to believe it. Again, what if it came out today and literally everything was there and literally investigators said Trump has nothing to do with this?
Well, first of all, Coach, there's dozens of victims that could and probably would collaborate, at least some of it. But here's the reason why I totally disagree with, let's just move on for the sake of maintaining the country in order. I mentioned this earlier, is that when you abuse a child or even a grown-ass woman in many cases, they put you on a registry because the belief is if you've done it once, that's in you, particularly with minors. If you've done it once, something's wrong with you upstairs and you're probably going to do it again. The fact that nobody has been punished from a group of over 1,500 women, that means a lot of them dudes that did that are probably re-victimizing people. So when you say, let's just move on, that means you're leaving a host of future victims in their wake that could be getting abused. All of these men are wealthy, powerful, and they have no justice if we do things your way. The chances of future people being a victim of this is very high under that.
So in fairness, 2 people have been arrested, one convicted.
Who?
Jeffrey Epstein and
the pimps. The pimps, all the Johns are walking around free though. You got the 2 pimps. All the Johns are free.
Let me ask you this question. And
by the way, Ghislaine Maxwell is in minimum security, and ain't nobody fucking explain how that happened.
And that's fair, but she's been convicted.
But
all I'm saying is, you said no one's been.
I could enter this country. Wait, hold on. I could enter this country illegally, Coach, and you guys would bitch if they put me in a prison that's that cushy. Oh, she's abused kids all over the place. She's abused all these kids.
You're not in a prison.
Right. She's barely in prison. She's like at a college campus. She can bring her dog in her cell. She got a TV.
Wait, aren't you the party of protecting women, though? I mean, come on. We're putting her in a nice place.
What's your other point? What's your other point?
Here's my question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you think it's odd that there's been 0 charges and 0 civil suits brought against Donald Trump? Now, before you answer that, and why do you think that is? Now, before you answer, I'm just going to tell you right now, if your answer is power, I have 2 words to debunk you. If your answer is money, I have 2 words to debunk you. So you can either start with those 2 words, or you can go on to something different.
I got 2 words, all right. Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is the reason ain't nothing happened with President Trump. She's acting almost like his sister-in-law. And I don't mean sister-in-law in terms of your spouse. I mean, she's acting like his sister that's also working for a law firm. She's actually doing everything she can to shield this guy from everything that may come after him. So Pam Bondi is why that ain't happening.
What about prior to Pam Bondi?
What?
What about prior to Pam Bondi?
Well, prior to Pam Bondi, perhaps the other administrations fucked up. Now they're saying that this stuff was under seal, and this whole notion that maybe some of them thought the same way you're talking about. And they had the same notion of let's just, not bring this up for fear of damaging people. I mean, I'm not saying that Trump is the only one doing something like that. I'm just saying he is somebody doing something like that.
But don't you think it's weird there hasn't been one family to bring a civil suit against them? Not one.
When you took out the pimp, somehow they just decided a dude on suicide watch, we're going to go ahead and skip the hour we're supposed to check on him. And he turns out dead during that hour. You're going to silence a lot of victims.
Okay, so we're going to talk power. I'm going to use my 2 words to debunk you. Prince Andrew. That family's a lot more powerful than Trump.
Yeah, but it's international.
And they've sued him. They went after him. If you want to talk money, Jeffrey Epstein, they went after him. They sued him. So why 0 lawsuits against Trump? Isn't that weird?
I can't answer. I don't know. I don't know why there's
not a lawyer in America. If they thought there was enough evidence, that's the key, that would not take that case on pro bono.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Eugene Carroll's lawyer would take it on.
I don't totally agree. Not with Trump having the amount of power he has now and how he's shown how he's willing to use it. I think there are plenty of lawyers. I think there are plenty of lawyers right now that would be like, fuck it, I don't want nothing to do with that. It ain't worth all the drama we're gonna have to take. I think some lawyer, Eugene Carroll's lawyer, went after Trump when he was a citizen. Not when he had the whole weight of the justice system using it as a weapon. He wasn't nowhere near this powerful when that happened.
Wait. When did that lawsuit go into place? It wasn't when he was president?
Yeah, but he didn't have he didn't have Pam Bondi. He had Attorney General Barr or some shit like that. His administration was not like what it is now. These people,
oh my gosh.
What you don't
think
think
you think powerful now than it was 4 years ago?
Significantly more powerful now than it was 4 years ago. Mike Pence refused to certify the election based on Trump's bullshit claims about the 2020 election being stolen. You think J.D. Vance would do that? J.D. Vance would do what Trump said and not certify the election. Yeah, same thing with Pete Hegseth.
Wait. Is Mike Pence still alive? How'd that happen?
Well, he didn't do anything worthy of being killed, but he certainly got kicked out of the party, and I'm assuming he probably got plenty of security because MAGA don't like him. Same thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene. MAGA does make death threats to all of those people.
But will you at least say it's strange that not one family has sued? I mean, one family that cares about their daughter, whatever the case may be. I mean, just one.
Well,
I would think somebody would be brave enough. Let's use that word, brave enough. I mean, Eugene Carroll.
Well, but think about it. There have been some of the girls that have literally took their own lives. Maybe this has come to a culmination where they were going to do it, and they received something. Just like Stormy Daniels, she said when she was coming up to go towards Trump, somebody approached her and was like, "It would be awful if something happened to you and your baby." I mean, these people are receiving death threats.
I mean, maybe.
That might be why people aren't suing. Is they're going against the most powerful of the powerful on the planet.
They sued the other powerful people, though.
Maybe
they sued Prince Andrew.
They
sued Epstein.
Because maybe those people are not responding in the same manner. Trump had Michael Cohen, and Michael Cohen admitted he was a cleaner. He did shady shit. Maybe some of them other folks just simply went by the law and said, we'll just beat her in court. Michael Cohen come at you like the fucking mob, we'll kill you. It makes a difference. So it's okay to sue one person because they're going to go with the courts. This other person may try to make a deal with you outside the court. So you ain't going to sue that person. Look at how Trump is behaving towards his adversaries. Do he look like the kind of guy you would just sue and he would deal with it in court? He is literally doing all of that mob shit from the White House.
Gentle giant, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, really, the last thing I got to leave with. Now, God damn it, Tim, you stress that 12,500 is not a lot for overtime people. For fuck's sake, if he gave more, you know what you'd bitch about? You'd say, "Oh, now you're helping the wealthy." He's trying to help the poor, for fuck's sake.
I don't think if you gave no tax on overtime up to 40, 50,000, you ain't helping the wealthy. That's barely even middle. That's low bottom middle class. I was that dude. That ain't wealthy.
Just wants to make sure you recognize he's only helping the poor.
To me, 12. I'm giving the guy credit for the 12.5. I'm just simply saying that ain't a whole lot of fucking money. That ain't gonna make.
No, I agree, but it helps the poorest of the poor, right?
Yeah. Considering that he gave permanent tax cuts to the wealthy and you get 12.5? I mean,
that's
I'll
all
give
they
you.
make, though.
You know
Or
what?
less.
You know what that sounds like to me, and I think many of us who've worked at companies have been through this, where you work for a company, factory, whatever the case may be, and through your efforts and your coworkers' efforts, the company has a really good quarter, maybe a really good year, and their stock portfolio shows the fruits of your labor, and you know they're making money, and they give you a pizza party. So you don't get any of the cut of the cash. You guys get a pizza party. Maybe an extra half hour for lunch to eat the pizza they bought. But you know all of them motherfuckers are making thousands. That to me is the 12.5, the pizza. You're getting pizza, and these people are getting huge bonuses for what you did to help them get that way.
But like you said, it is 12.5. 12.5 more than Biden did.
It's a piece of pizza.
Now, that being said, here's the beauty.
Shit. Are you crazy? Biden's... No. Let me tell you something.
Ask your 960 SAT guy to do more than 12.5.
Let me tell you something. You could take that 12.5 and shove it where the sun don't shine if this guy's giving me tuition free. I mean, he was going to forgive college tuition. Now, that's some real motherfucking money. 12.5? What?
Well, then just ask your 960 SAT guy to make it more in 3 years.
Well, that's a different argument. But what I'm saying is what Biden was going to do for the people. You're talking universal health care and all that shit. 12.5. Now that's part of the stocks. That ain't a pizza party. What Biden was offering people was going to make a real difference to folks on the bottom. 12.5.
Maybe. How is it going to be paid for?
Same way the fucking tribunal he wants to build in DC is paid for. I mean, it's going to be paid for by the taxpayer. The same way this war with Iran on behalf of Israel is being paid for. The same way the jet he got that he don't fucking need is to get it refurbished is going to be paid for. Why not look out for the little man? We tired of eating pizza, man.
He did, and you're bitching about it.
He gets a jet and I get a slice of Tostinos? Really?
What do you want, man? What do you want? You want a jet?
I want in. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in. I want in. Hook me up. I got to move it on for time, but listen.
No, I appreciate you letting me up. I enjoy your show. I love that you take any criticism on any side and just the openness. You don't censor. It's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks,
come on back. Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to play. Thank you. Tap the screen, folks. Get the likes on up to 95,000. You guys are hilarious, says Chris. I'm serious. 12.5 is okay, but Americans are struggling. They're suffering. Give them something they can really feel, something tangible. That 12.5 ain't doing it. 12.5 is the pizza party. That's all that is. That 12.5 is a pizza party. Maybe you don't feel like Charlie Kirk. You do want to give me a free lunch, a couple pieces of pizza. But you guys are making real money. You guys are flying on jets, getting ballrooms built. You talking about building tribunals. They naming ships after your ass. 12.5? Really? Hook me up. Hook me up. That don't sound right. Something sounds unbalanced there. Anyway, looking in the comments, tap the screen. We'll take the next caller at 90. Mr. G says, Trump been getting boosters twice a year. The rollout, since the rollout. So you said Trump has been getting the booster vax. I believe that. I actually do believe that. MAGA calling other people foolish for doing the same thing. Yeah. And that's because Trump is not forthcoming on the fact that he got vaccinated. He's been getting the boosters. And that's why I told my last caller, he should have let people know that. Trump, what does that say? Trump Department of Justice arrested Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein to silence them. Prince Andrew was a lamb. Well, I wish they would give Prince Andrew or some of them international juggernauts, give them a Ghislaine Maxwell type deal to get them to flip. I don't. You're not going to, because Trump ain't going to do it, but you got to get some, I guess, some liberal. Remember when Biden was in office? It was either Biden or Obama. And the Republicans thought we were not being favorable to Israel. So the Republican members of Congress, without getting the president's permission, went to Israel and went to meet with Netanyahu. Perhaps the liberals should take a page out of that book and fly overseas and go meet with the folks in the UK or go meet with Norway or any of those folks who went down and tell them, when we get back in office, we just need you to give us the people, make a deal with Prince Andrew or whatever, tell the UK. Eventually, the liberals are going to be in control in America. We'll look out for you. Not to mention straighten some of the wrongs that we believe Trump has made. We'll right some of the wrongs out, but once we get back in office, we'll help right some of those wrongs. We're just asking you to be lenient on Andrew, but require he give us names. Require he get one of them people to flip this over there. It's outside of the realm of Trump. He can't stop it. Get one of them to flip. If they get their hooks in Trump, he will talk. What do you mean by get their hooks in them, Jay? Before we move on, by the way, follow the program if you're watching on TikTok, Substack, Instagram. Give us a follow. You're watching on YouTube, sub. Tap that like button if you happen to be watching on YouTube. Show your boys some love. We're here most weekdays. If you enjoy uncensored dialogue in a MAGA-friendly format, we are always been MAGA-friendly. We don't intend to change that. Liberals are welcome on the program as well, but we don't censor anyone on this program. One of the things we were talking about, by the way, before I go to the next caller, get us up to, we might be to get over the 100,000 hump. So tap the screen, get the likes up. One of the things we were talking about earlier in the program, I haven't went back to it, but because I didn't want to talk about this too much. But the fact is, Ilhan Omar, Minnesota representative, you've seen her at the State of the Union yesterday or the day before, State of the Union address. The SOTU, yelling at President Trump, totally disrespecting the office of president. I want to say it flat out. I don't believe anybody should be yelling at the president while he is in the commencement of a speech. Show the office respect, even if you totally disagree with the person running the office. MAGA's been all over this. MAGA has been all over this. President Trump immediately took to social media stating, when you watch the low IQ Ilhan Omar scream uncontrollably last night at the very elegant State of the Union, that really sounds like Trump. She had the bulging, bloodshot eyes of a crazy person. There is an actual photo of her yelling at Trump. Now, she yelled at Trump for the most part the same language she yelled at her back in return. They both were yelling shame on you at each other. But I do want to point this out, because I'm talking specifically to MAGA, what I'm about to say. So this is to my beloved MAGA. Because MAGA agrees that what she was doing was disrespectful to the office of president. However, this doesn't just extend to Ilhan Omar. Here is Marjorie Taylor Greene at Joe Biden's last State of the Union address as well, doing the exact same thing. Doing the exact same thing, delivering the same energy that Ilhan Omar was delivering at Trump. Marjorie Taylor's doing the exact same thing to Joe Biden. Not a peep out of Trump or MAGA. Not one peep out of Trump or MAGA. This is just as disrespectful as Ilhan Omar. So what I want to ask MAGA, this is directed at MAGA. I guess the liberals can answer as well, but this is directed at my MAGA viewers. Is it okay for someone to disrespect the commander-in-chief, the nation's highest office, as long as it's not your guy? Is it okay to disrespect the president as long as it's not one you care about? Because that is what I'm seeing here. That is what I'm seeing here. There was not a word said about Marjorie Taylor Greene doing exactly what Trump complained about, what MAGA complained about. She did it to Biden. She did it. Not to mention, she also showed Hunter Biden's genitalia on the House floor. C-SPAN or something like that took it. I mean, so it's not that Ilhan was the first to do this. It's just that when Marjorie did it, the right didn't care. So that's the question. Is it okay to disrespect the nation's highest office as long as it's not your guy? I mean, otherwise, I don't see any reason why Ilhan Omar is getting criticized at this point. Otherwise, it just looks very hypocritical. Anyway, going back to the box, we'll make it happen with Miss Mo Betta. Trump doesn't want to run again. Are you sure? He's literally selling Trump 2028 hats, Robert. Miss Bobetta, good evening.
No, Trump don't want to go to jail. That's what. That's about.
Do you think there's a possibility of that happening?
Why do you think he ran in the first place? Because he know it would keep him out of jail.
Yeah.
Now that guy, I got up here and showed some information about Trump not being in those files. And got it from the place for the people who's actually protecting them. Make that shit make sense.
When he was reading it, I forgot to bring that up because that's just like getting information from MSNBC that's anti-Trump. I mean, nobody's going to believe what's coming from the Trump because the same website is the one that talked about the Doge numbers and all of that.
Lord, fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus.
Yeah.
Because we a mess down here.
Well,
but for real though, I just can't fathom how people come up that they actually say shit like that out their mouth. that they let that come out of their mouth.
But in his defense, I think he was being comical about it. I mean, he admits that.
No, he wasn't. He was laughing to try to make it seem like he wasn't those super people, but he's MAGA.
Well, if you got the government website now indicating that Trump is in none of the files, even MAGA, is there any MAGA that don't believe his name is in the files? You may believe he didn't.
They don't believe shit about him.
I don't know about that one. Miss Bobetta, I think
don't believe anything bad about him. They don't think that. They think he is a saint that has been hunted down by the opposition and stuff. You seen pictures with him with Jeffrey Epstein and shit like that, but yet he's not in the fight.
Yeah, they believe Trump is innocent. Yeah, I agree. They believe Trump is innocent, but they do also. So why not? They believe he's in the files.
Why wouldn't he release what he said he was going to release then? Well, you said you're going to release all these files. You did Pam Bondi said she warned him about being in there, first of all. Then the half that they released, they were supposed to redact the victim's name. You exposed the victims and covered up the perpetrators. Come on, how do y'all not smell and that's not a conspiracy. That shit is just in plain sight.
It's intentional. And that might be it to answer my last caller's reason of why hasn't anybody sued him. When you're doing shit like that, I mean, you deliberately sitting out the victims and hiding the ones that abuse them when you're doing shit like that.
And then Pam Bondi said if we was to release them all, that it'll crash, the world will crash our system or something, crash it.
Well, let me ask you this.
It needs a reset.
Well, let me ask you this. I've said this for the umpteenth time, but yet people continue asking this. In the comments, Presto B says, 4 years Biden had them. Why aren't you asking about that? It keeps coming up.
Still talking about that same shit. You must not be listening when we talk about this any other day. First of all, it was still an open investigation because Ghislaine had an appeal in. They cannot release anything when it comes to the files when there's an active court case, which an appeal is considered an active court case. Second of all, Biden didn't run on releasing those files.
True. Well, and that is
what more the fuck you? And see, the whataboutisms is the problem because y'all keep saying, well, what about this? What about that? No, your man is guilty. We don't care who else. We want them to arrest whoever was in there. We don't give a fuck who was Whoopi, Obama, anybody that was in those files, lock them up. They're disgusting people. See, and this is where y'all failing at because y'all keep saying, oh, well, what about this one? What about that one? Right now, Trump is the president. That's who the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I will say this. If Biden could have released it and didn't, if Obama could have released it and didn't, we can hold him accountable. I'm not here to defend Biden or Obama, but bringing them up does not make Trump look better. I don't know why.
It doesn't exonerate him. So I don't know why they keep saying that dumb shit. And that's how you know they're slow as fuck.
Well, they want to make sure Trump is not the only one getting the blame. Real quick, Mr. G says, MAGA will give any excuse or brush it off. And I do see that is what's happening. I see you handsome conservative on live stream or Instagram rather, but that does seem to be what's happening is that.
Nope. And that's why Jeffrey Epstein is unalive too. Let's call a spade a spade. When did he pass away? Under who? Under whose president?
Was it under Trump's first term, right? Here's something else that the Trump administration needs to explain because this did not happen under Biden or Obama. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell in minimum security? Why did she get that
With
upgrade?
puppies and shit. She was found guilty, tried, and convicted. So why is she getting preferential treatment?
Yeah, that can't be blamed on Obama or Biden. The same, also the notion of Trump saying, stop talking about Epstein and calling something we clearly know is a major issue.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also referring to something we clearly know is a legitimate issue as a Democrat hoax. Why would he say that? This is not a hoax. It's real victims.
That's the same thing he did with C-19. Oh, it's a hoax. That's a Democratic hoax. He did the same thing about C-19 until people started dropping.
How about this?
I'm not making that up. You can go back and watch the videos with him saying.
But how about this, Ms. Mobetta? This is interesting. Todd says y'all don't care anything about the damn files. You want Trump to be guilty, and that's all. So if Trump wasn't president, let's be real now. Let's say Kamala Harris had won. Would the Democrats be quiet on this?
No. Lock her up too.
No, I didn't say no. Let's say Kamala Harris ain't in the files. But let's say she.
You mean I had won the presidency?
Right.
No, he probably would have went and disappeared somewhere. But this is the thing about that, Tim. When you're in a higher position, you're held to a higher standard. I don't care how they try to dress that up. You are a representative of more than over 350 million people he's representing. Of course, stuff like that is going to come out.
But what you're saying...
What you're saying is supposed to sweep it under the rug? No.
Well, what you're saying, though, is the same energy the Democrats have to get to the bottom of this right now. That same energy would exist if Kamala Harris was in the White House.
No, he wouldn't. He's not representing us. That would be for the people to handle that.
No. Do you understand? Wait. Hold on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
Let me clear it up. Right now, there's a hell of a lot of Democrat energy to get to the bottom of this. They want the Trump administration to be forthcoming and transparent with what's in the Epstein files. I'm asking you, if Kamala Harris was president, would the same Democrat energy be about getting to the bottom? Because it would be the Kamala Harris administration would be responsible for helping us get to the bottom of this. Would the energy be the same if Kamala Harris was president from the Democrats?
Of course, it would have to be.
No, it wouldn't.
Absolutely.
It
wouldn't have to be, but we would have the same energy because, listen, we're talking about children. Number one, you're talking about children being violated. Number two, when you're in that position, you talk about transparency. That means you have to be truthful about everything and all things because people are going to go dig shit up on you, whether you want to or not. I don't care if it was Kamala or Biden, anybody. They go digging shit up. Yes, the energy would be the same. It'd probably be even more.
I'm on the other side. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm on the other side of this. I do believe that with a bullseye on Trump, I do believe there would still be some energy, and you would also have Cash Patel and Dan Bongino on the internet still trying to get to the bottom of it from the right. But I do believe that if you took the bullseye off of Trump, Kamala Harris is president, I believe there will still be Democrats wanting to get to the bottom of it, but not like this. I think the energy would be significantly weaker. That's my opinion.
But this is the thing, Tim. Trump sets his own precedent.
True.
You go around. You demonize people. You insult people. Now you're giving away our money and all kind of shit. What does he expect to happen? Not everybody is into kissing ass. I'm sorry, I failed at that class.
Well, Gangsta Grandma tells me I'm into it. Gangsta Grandma says I'm into it.
Even with me having my full lips. I failed at kissing ass. Not everybody's into that. Now, you got the people that supporting him bowing down to him while he's picking their fucking pockets. Slowies.
Well, I think Trump is enriching. I think people are bowing down to Trump because it's greatly benefiting them. I mean, I don't favor money.
How?
I mean, stop. Look how much money people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. You don't think Marco Rubio and all of them are getting rich? They're making money.
Those select few, yes. Those select few, yes.
Oh, not MAGA. Yeah, MAGA ain't getting rich. No, MAGA's not getting rich.
And this is who I'm talking about.
Okay.
They're the ones who's talking for him and turning themselves into pretzels and and paraphrasing stuff that he's saying and making up shit and believing the bullshit that he gets up there and bloviates.
Well, yeah, in that case, no, I agree with you. I don't think MAGA's getting rich.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, they're on the same level of playing field as the Democrats. They don't know it yet. And I want and that lady Snowbird in there, she keeps saying, "Oh, it's about to go down." Stop watching the fall of the cabal. That's nothing but a QAnon conspiracy theory. It makes you look foolish. Knock it off.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. As somebody who's been on the left, who leans left, I thought QAnon, for the most part, was a bunch of conspiracy theorists as well. But some of the shit they've been saying about this Epstein stuff looks accurate. Like you mentioned in placenta and eating babies and shit. I thought that stuff sounded crazy, but
but you know who they say was doing it was all lefties. So let's not go there.
Yeah,
when they was there, they was talking about that stuff, but it was everybody but anybody on the right. So we're not gonna go there. That's what they was talking about. But when they found out, because trust me, I had so-called friends that go hard for that shit. They were total QAnon conspiracy theorists. Oh, you just watch, it's gonna come out. Obama and
it was I see folks in the comments.
Everybody that was a so-called leftist.
Yeah, I see folks in the comments. I see folks in the comments countering you, but I agree with you 100%. It was Tom Hanks and Oprah and Will Smith. It was all lefties. It really was. It was all lefties.
I mean, it was just
it was all
staggering.
Lefties. Yeah, it was all lefties.
But when they found out it was their man in them files, they wasn't saying shit about it. Then they
let me ask you this, because the Clintons, both husband and wife, gave a deposition today. They wanted to speak publicly. They wanted to be questioned publicly. The Trump administration, why would they not want that to be public? Why would the Trump administration do it behind closed doors?
Because they know, first of all, that Clinton has close ties to all of that stuff. If he was in with all of them pictures and shit, he knows stuff that we don't. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, and they're lawyers on top of that. They're very intelligent lawyers.
But they want it to be public.
Yes, they want it to be public because they know going behind closed doors, they can scratch and fix and twist all kinds of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So they weak, they scared. They really are. They scared of Trump. And like, what's that man name? He said, Trump, they don't like you. His people, that they don't like you. Those peoples that are in power and empowered, they don't like you.
Well, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, to me, if you really want to get to the bottom of this, and you got a person willing to testify publicly, and you know the public is itching to get to the bottom of this, why you wouldn't let that person do it?
Let's put it out there. Maybe this will put an end to people saying that Trump is guilty. You know what I'm saying? If this would clear up stuff and all of that, let's put it out there for everybody to see if that's the case.
How about this?
Let everybody see it.
How about this? Mr. G in the comments says Trump said he would escape to Venezuela if he lost. Have you heard anything like that?
Listen, I didn't hear it, but I believe it. Why you think he's trying to clear past? He got to go somewhere where there's no extradition.
I'm thinking Argentina. Now that's where they went in the past.
Yeah, that too. He giving Argentina all of this money for whatever. He's trying to go where's Bali? Where Bali or somewhere wherever there's no extradition laws is where he's trying to set himself up at.
Well, shit.
Not only would he face charges here, he'd be facing charges internationally.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? He got a lot of shit going on. So
but even if he goes somewhere, let's say for instance you did have a highly sought after criminal that went to a country that there was no extradition. If it was Trump in office, Trump would either threaten that country with tariffs or war. You got to give us that motherfucker back. You can't let him hide there. So you can still get him if he went somewhere that
Oh yeah, I agree with that. There's definitely ways to get him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I want these patriots to stop talking about America.
What did you call them?
Patriots.
Patriots?
Patriots. They're not patriots, they're patriots.
Oh my God.
Getting up here saying that it's America first and all of that stuff. And when we're just talking about pro-life, pro-birth, and pro all of Y'all the lie and the truth ain't in you.
How do you
fake ass Christian?
How do you record that? How do you see that? The idea that a woman who chooses to terminate her child could have her own life terminated by the state.
That's disgusting. That's probably the most disgusting thing that I've heard. First of all, how are you? If you are not feeding me, fucking me, or financing me, you ain't got shit to say about what I do with my body.
Sound like
that's
my
ex-wife. Not your business.
Sound like my ex-wife. I mean, I get it.
That is not your business.
Yeah.
That is not your business. How is it? How are you going to control what the next woman do if you're not financing it?
Well, the suggestion is the government's job is to protect the unborn, and you're killing the unborn. That's the angle.
It's a fetus. It's a fetus until the day it takes its breath. It's a fetus. And they're so full of shit. Like you said, they want the babies born, but don't want to help take care of them. Now, like that Jeremy was bloviating earlier about, they should just get a job. How are you going to survive off these high-ass rents? You're talking about anywhere $1,500 to $2,500 in rent, and we're making $15 an hour and feeding children. It's not going to do it.
Well, according to Trump, in his State of the Union address, he just said yesterday or the day before that rents have went down a lot since he became president.
How the fuck does he know? He ain't never paid a rent in a day of his life. And who is he getting his numbers from? Because he fired all the people that was keeping up with the numbers. So who the fuck is feeding him these numbers?
Well, he is a landlord, I would assume, at some level. I mean, he owns a lot of properties.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, okay.
We elected a businessman. Come on now.
Yeah, and you know what the businessman is? To smooth talk you until he gets what he wants. Not what we want. It's what he wants. That's the thing with businessmen. They're not here to pacify you, gratify you, or satisfy you. They're there to satisfy themselves and get capital gain. That's what a businessman.
But from what I hear, the economy, is he really doing that bad? The stock market, the Dow is 50. What did she say? 50,000, whatever she said. I mean, I'm hearing the stock market and the economy, economically, inflation is not as bad. Gas prices are manageable.
Gas prices are. I'm here in New York. Yeah, and I'm sure that mine would cost more than it would in Alabama, say, right. But that's not true either, because I've traveled to the southern states. Their gas is just as high as in New York, and they definitely are not making as much money as I make here in New York. Yeah. So that gas always fluctuates. That always goes up and down. That's supply and demand. Right. But the
point I'm making is economically, is he really ain't doing he's not doing a horrible job, is he?
Listen, I went to the grocery store yesterday. One little brown bag, $85. I need him to shut up about that because he's lying.
Yeah, he made it sound like
he is lying.
Yeah, he made it sound like Thanksgiving dinner was.
Lover, shut up, you pedo! Shut up.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
You know what the pizza lover stands for?
What does it stand for? I don't know that.
Yeah, pedophilia.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Go look it up.
That's his name. Pizza lover.
Yeah, and it stands for pedophilia.
I got a guest in the comments right now whose name is Pizza Lover. And you're telling me that's what that stands for?
Yep.
How do you know that? How do you actually know that?
What do you think? How do you think I got it from them? That's why I'm laughing, because it came from the QAnon people. That's who it came from, the QAnoners.
So like Pizzagate. Yeah, Pizzagate.
They say that is the code for pedophilia, for liking younger people.
Kind of like a Let's Go Brandon thing or something like that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'll think about that.
The Pizzagate. Right, Takesha. Yeah. Like, come on, tell.
Right. I don't look. If it's one thing I've made clear on this show, the reason why I like having folks from all sides of the aisle, I'm not a know-it-all. I don't talk down to my guests. There's a lot of shit I don't know. I learned from you. The placenta thing is something I've been looking like, what the fuck? I don't know all that stuff. You guys sometimes cue me in on things.
Like they say, because of the stem cells and all the nutrients and it's a lot of stuff in the placenta. How do you think a baby survives?
Yeah, I know that. I know that part, but I didn't know people.
Exactly.
I didn't know
because of all the nutrients and stuff that are in there.
But don't that turn into like afterbirth afterwards?
Yes, and it's still active. Yeah, absolutely.
And you can still consume that shit.
Yeah. I'm telling you, people do a lot of things with it. Go look up what the vaccine or what they use. No, not the vaccine. The antibodies. Go look that up and see what they use to make it.
Yeah, I see Snowbird said it's worth 100 G's. Wow. Shit.
And if a woman wants to keep it, a woman would have to apply to keep her own afterbirth. You think that?
What the fuck's she gonna do with that?
I'll tell you, people put it in drinks and all kinds of shit. You think I'm playing? It's a real fucking thing, Tim. Go look it up.
That's nasty.
It might appear to be like breast milk. People, even with breast milk, you can put breast milk in your bath water and all kinds of. It's a lot. Our bodies actually heal ourselves. We're natural healers.
I'm not putting no breast milk. Now, look, I like the container, but I'm not fucking with breast milk. I'm kind of fond of the containers, but I don't want the milk.
Jeremy, you don't even probably you're probably still a fucking virgin. Shut the fuck up. I know what I'm talking about. Mind your goddamn business. How about that? Sick of your non-knowing nothing ass. Bloviating ass. Go somewhere. Go color.
Oh my God.
Go play Grand Theft Auto with MAGA React somewhere.
All right, Miss Mo.
So fucking annoying. Yes, I do know. Your ass, do you have kids? I bet you don't have any children. You don't know shit.
Well, I'm learning. They don't like you, Miss Mo. They calling you in. I got it. I'll move it on, but Miss Mo.
Okay.
You really been...
Listen, Tim, go look a lot of that stuff up. I'm telling you.
All right. I'll look up some I'll be on Instagram later looking at some pictures of containers. So for sure. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, moving on with the program. Don't like breast milk, but I love the containers. Moving on. She clearly bought her high school diploma, says Jeremy. You guys are mean. I used my breast milk in my bathwater. It was wonderful. How much milk you producing? Shit. I mean, big motherfucker like me, I need some gallons in that tub. How much milk you producing? Calgon drowned me away. Let me go back to the box. I have never heard of this stuff before. I've never heard of swimming with breast milk. Perhaps Commerce could tell me something different. Straight Talk Commerce. Good evening.
God damn, Tim.
What are you
You wear on a motherfucker. I mean, God damn.
What did I do?
This woman, the way that she talks to people, I swear to God, there's no way you can convince me she has children.
Who are you referring to? Who are you referring to?
Nobody.
Miss Mo, my last guess.
And by the way, just let me do your housekeeping again for you, please. Let me do your housekeeping again for you. Because you let people just say whatever. You're like Art Bell. Do you remember Art Bell?
No.
He used to have a radio program late at night. I'm talking like 2:00 in the morning, where people would talk about Bigfoot and chupacabras, and they would talk about aliens coming from places and shit. And he would talk to the craziest people, and that's you in the middle of the damn day.
Wait a minute. You're going to tell me I just let people talk, and you're the man who coined the phrase.
Whatever the fuck
Hold
they want
on.
to say. Let me bring it up.
But wait a minute. Before you do, you're going to criticize me for letting people say whatever the hell they want when you're known for saying Trump has never lied.
No. Again, and I have to correct you
because it never makes sense.
Because I need you to clean out your ears and listen to what I said.
Help me out.
I didn't say Trump has never lied. I said I have never heard Trump tell a lie because your definition of a lie is wrong. If the man doesn't know what he said was wrong, it's not a lie. If he knowingly, hold on, let me get it out. If he knowingly tells you false information, that's a lie.
Okay.
Look it up. It's not my definition.
Well, being honest with you, I appreciate, now that you've explained it to me, I appreciate you explaining it that way.
Again,
hold on. I appreciate you explaining it to me that way because in reality, That changes nothing. He tells lies. What the hell are you talking about?
Okay. Listen, if you look, you are no better than Mo Betta, no better than Michael, the employee. You're no better than Gangster Grandma. I get it. Okay. You got a grift here. Hey, it's cool.
A grift.
Look,
you voted for grift. You voted for McGrift.
No.
Yes.
And by the way, I like
the grifter in chief.
I like the new rule. I'm okay with the new rule. You have that's a very good.
Let me explain that. Let me explain. Hold on. Let me explain it to folks who don't know what that new rule is. By the way, folks, we normally only take one caller, but sometimes some of the guests really think somebody who is speaking is a piece of you know what, and they want to correct that person and teach them, set them straight. So we do have a rule now that if you donate a galaxy, we'll bring you up, give you 10 minutes with that person to set them straight. So that is a new rule. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the straight talk commerce rule. You started that shit, didn't even get your galaxy, and you started that shit with me. And look, I'm flattered, but you don't have any of you dummies that. Well, number one, they're too broke, and number two, I don't know that I want to participate in that and make it profitable to you. You should have said
it ain't never. It's only happened one time, so it ain't all that profitable. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, I am sure that a couple of your low, there we go. What'd I tell you? Money.
I don't think you realize who that is either. By the way.
Come on, straight talk. Now we got it, huh?
There we go. This is the favorite.
So now Trump doesn't lie. Trump don't lie.
Talk about it, Granny. Trump you just gave the man your money. Uncle Ruckus got your money.
What the fuck?
I support his ass, but you're too cheap to support him, right? Yeah.
Yes.
With your fucking bow-legged looking,
dummy.
uncooked looking ass.
Yes,
let's go.
Dummy. I am not going to do that.
Who's the dummy? Who's on the legs? Who's on your legs, honey? Huh? Whose cock are you sucking? You're sucking a white man that you're never going to be at his table for.
Ooh.
So be quiet. Humble your ass. I suck black cock. Okay?
We all know.
I'm on the right side.
All comers,
I'm on the right side.
All comers. It's anybody and everybody, isn't it, G? Anybody and everybody.
That's your mama.
Oh.
Okay?
My mother is dead.
Your mama
she is sitting right here and heard what you just said about her.
Your mama don't know who your daddy is. Could be your brother.
My dad is sitting right next to her, just as dead as she is.
Let's get talking. Trump never lied. Trump never lied. Are you serious? Trump never lied. Trump's not racist? Are you serious? Come on.
Get it out, Granny.
Come on, what you little pecker.
Go ahead. Tell me how he was. How did the man touch you?
Let's talk, Pecker.
How did that man touch you? How did he hurt you, Bull?
What is it, Pecker?
Make it worth your money. I'm trying not to talk and waste your money.
Well, wait. You can waste my money, honey. I'm a boss.
I know that all you got to do is hit that truck stop again, and you got enough for a galaxy.
So tell me straight up, when did this mofo not lie? Come on. He lied under damn, what does that mean?
I'm asking you for examples. Give me an example.
I am the damn, what is that called when he went up there in front of everybody? What was that?
What are you talking about?
The damn, what is that shit called? I forgot.
Expects me to help.
I couldn't even.
You guys hearing this bullshit?
What is it?
Listen, ask the damn trucker there. You just knock on that truck window and ask him.
Your mama should have swallowed you, honest to God. You was a waste of a damn nut on God.
Oh my God.
Of the Union, duh. Yeah. The Day of the Union. Do you know how many times that mofo lied? Every 5 seconds.
Name one.
The economy's good.
The economy's fantastic.
The rent,
rents have gone down 1.7%.
Hang on, hold on a second. I'll tell you one of the
last time rent went down in this country.
I'll tell you one of the times he lied. One of the times he lied.
Come on, Tim.
All that birther stuff was a lie. All that Obama born in Kenya, that stuff was a lie.
Tim.
No. It wasn't a lie. He believed it. He believed He believed that President Obama was born somewhere else.
Gangster Grandma, hold on. Gangster Grandma, hold on.
He wasn't. He was wrong. He was wrong about that.
That's a lie.
Gangster Grandma, hold on a second. If I think I'm 8 feet tall, so I tell you that. As long as I think it, So in other words, all of these transgender men that you guys complain about, if they think they're a woman, then they not lying to you, huh?
They're wrong.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are wrong. They're wrong.
They're trans women.
They're not lying.
Oh my
If they honestly believe it, they are just wrong.
You straight white men are pedos. For real. You guys are the most dangerous motherfucking species in the United States.
Now. It takes one to know one.
Go look it up. I'm not a pedo, sweetheart. I don't look at little girls and say,
guess what? Yes, you are. You're a pedo.
You guys get your dick. You guys get your wangy changies, little pickers. You guys get hard when you guys see a little girl. That's why when he was
get you thrown off this platform, Tim.
That's what this locker room.
I hope the universe was working.
Doing that.
The galaxy.
I mean, listen.
Because she's about to get you thrown off this platform.
Peckerwood, moron, yes, honey. Now, come on. Tell me something. I'm calling out everything you said. He did not lie. Yes, he did. The rent is over $2,000. So don't tell me the rent is cheaper and the groceries are cheaper.
Where is the rent over $2,000? Granny,
well, I don't know.
Where is the rent $2,000?
You'll gag it on his.
You're paying $15 for a shower at the truck stop. Where in the hell is rent $2,000?
That's everywhere. New Mexico rent is $2,500 for a 3-bedroom.
Straight talk. In a lot of urban areas, you can pay $2,000 a month for rent. That actually ain't.
I understand that, but I just asked for somewhere specific. I realize that some places rent is a 1-bedroom apartment. It's not $2,000 unless you're in New York City. Or you're some urban area. But she's too easy. Which is her high school nickname.
Oh my God.
So where is that? Health insurance is sky high. Prescriptions in orbit. So where's the good at, sweetheart?
Listen, you get a free shot at the free clinic. Why are you complaining?
Free shot? That's your mama, though. She should have boarded your ass, man.
Mom, did you get a free shot at the free clinic? No? Okay. You don't know what you're talking about.
I might have made a mistake with this.
Listen,
we
give you free medical care so you don't pass along the diseases that you have.
Let me tell you about who gets the free medical care, okay? It's the red states. They get free medical care. My blue state covers your ass's red states. Let's go there.
I live in California.
I'm in Cali. Pookie and
I live in California.
Ray. I'm in Cali. We're the 4th largest economy in the world. We pay.
You're $1.7 trillion in debt.
No, we're not in debt, sweetheart.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not.
It's called Google. Look that shit up, dummy.
Someone lied to you.
Ask one of them truckers to borrow his phone for a second.
Okay, you guys. I don't know if I did the right thing with this.
You didn't, Jim. Eat this. Hey,
you can't even
listen.
talk
This woman isn't even close.
He doesn't
so let me tell you, leftists. This is not your best or brightest.
Because they're broke. They are broke. The white man gets welfare.
$1.7 trillion in debt in California. Tell me how broke Texas is.
They are broke. They are broke.
Then you ask one of them truckers to take you to a red state.
Why you keep talking about truckers?
When them truckers take you to a red state, boy.
Oh my God.
Why you keep talking about truckers?
You have to wash your feet before you get in that truck, though.
We have a surplus in California. Our surplus goes to your ugly asses.
You have $1.7 trillion in unsecured debt.
Medicaid. Go look the shit up, man.
3 minutes.
If it wasn't for blue states and blue cities, you guys would be broke.
3 minutes. I'm gonna break this up in 3 minutes.
I gotta go roll up.
I would like to reclaim my time.
All right. Well, Gangsta Grandma, if you're out, Gangsta, I'll go ahead and
clean up after that triple decker she just pulled in the Peterbilt.
You cannot say anything I said that was not valid because rent is sky high.
You haven't said anything valid.
Sky high. Our food is sky high. The only thing that is going down was gas, so it went right back up today.
Pull a double at the TSW.
Shut the fuck up and get the cock out your damn mouth.
All right, we'll end it at that. I got to get used to this type of a program because I'm used to a lot more civility. Wow. Listen, I'm trying new shit. This is by way of yes or no in the comments. How many of you folks favor that type of interaction. It's a little new for me. You know, I don't talk down to guests. I'm fairly civilized, but let me know in the comments if you guys would like that program to continue where, you know, you can bring a galley and say, well, a lot of folks are saying yes. Okay. I guess maybe I'm not as confrontational, so to speak. I don't know. But I got, looks like there's some no's in there, no doubt. But most of the folks seem to favor. I gotta give me time to marinate on that, because that's gotta grow on me. That type of I'm used to being very interactive with my guests and have the guests because listen, that's kind of how the lives are ran. Hang on a second, handsome conservative, but that's kind of how the guests are ran on many other live streams where you see people do lives and there's like 8 guests there and the host is just kind of sitting there eating fucking cereal and things like that. I'm heavily involved with the program. I don't, you know, I want to make sure I give my guests, you know, complete time. And I try to give some of my folks in the comment section, you know, I got 5 screens with comments going all over the place. So it's not as easy to do it in the comment section, but the callers, I want to give you my undivided attention. And I'm not used to sitting there while 2 people beat the shit out of each other verbally. Handsome conservative, good evening.
All right, so let's just get right to the point. You got some kind of problem with me?
What makes you say that?
I did. You took straight talk up before me. Do you know how much money
let me thank you for your support. Let me hold on. Let me respond by saying this. The problem is the program started out on Instagram years ago, so sometimes I make the mistake of not seeing what's going on my side camera. So if you are on TikTok, I'm gonna see you immediately. It's not that I'm trying to skip over you or any of that. So understand that.
Tim, I'm just picking on you, man.
You put me in the defensive mode, goddammit. You put me in defensive mode. But go ahead. So what brought you up? What are we getting wrong today?
All right. First of all, I want to start back at Gangster Grandma. The first time.
Oh shit.
Her up. Okay.
Let me get my notepad out.
I did not know that she could quote out of the Bible without bursting into flames. I am seriously impressed.
You did not know she could quote out the Bible without bursting into flames. I'll give you the ba-dum-bop. Okay. Keep going.
Second of all, she was wrong. Okay, that's what happens when you quote one passage out of the Bible. Okay.
Explain.
Yes. Adam and Eve, the first man and first woman, according to the Bible, was breathed life into by God. That's when they were first given life. But ever since then, babies have been formed in their mother's womb. And the Bible clearly states, even in your womb, before you were fully formed, I knew you. That means that baby is alive.
I don't know if I would have. Look, I'm not a biblical scholar. That's your interpretation. That's one thing about the Bible is everybody interprets it differently. That's your interpretation. What the hell just happened? What the hell just happened with my TikTok just went down on my caller. I don't know what the fuck. TikTok Instagram went down in the middle of that conversation. That's fucked up. Chris says Adam and Eve, and I see Angry Patriot says he's 100% right. This is why I'm against the Bible state. What do you call it? Separation of church and state. This is one reason why I'm against that. I see the comment. Somebody, James Brittley says God shut him down. No, I think what happens is Instagram, just like Substack does this as well. We're live on Substack. They put a time up in terms of how long you can live stream. And after that time expires, they just end the live. TikTok doesn't do that, and neither does YouTube. But some of the platforms limit your live time. And I think what happened with Instagram is it timed out. I didn't hang up on my caller, for instance. We don't hang up on any caller, by the way, but I didn't hang up on Handsome. In fact, he's a big supporter of the program, so we didn't hang up on him. But I'll see if he's on TikTok. But no, I think it timed out on him. We'll try it over here since he's over here now. But in regards to the Bible, that's one reason why I'm not a fan. Hang on a second, handsome conservative. One reason why I'm not a fan of I'm a fan of it yet of separation in church and state, because I don't want the Bible being used to dictate what we can and can't do legally. And when you start quoting Bible verses, as me and handsome conservative are talking here, everybody interprets that stuff differently. So I don't want law to be based on that. But conservative, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sure that wasn't because I was white, right?
Maybe the app is racist.
All right, okay. That must have been that white privilege I keep hearing about. Listen, no, dude, I wasn't trying to give you my opinion. I was doing what gangster grandma was doing. I was taking a page out of the Bible to express why I am for children that are not yet born. She was taking a page out of the Bible to say, hey, it's cool, let's kill all the babies. That's different.
Well, I think you guys are, I think just like you pointed out her view on pro-life, pro-choice rather, you believe her pro-choice views are extreme, kill all the babies. You also believe that a woman that's been sexually violated should be forced to carry the baby to term, right?
Okay. I'm sorry, could you please repeat that last thing you said?
You believe a woman that has been sexually violated and impregnated against her will should be forced to carry that baby to term, correct?
I believe that there are options for that poor woman that was violated to help her out without murdering a child that has done no wrong.
But if she wants to get rid of that child that has done no wrong, you believe that should be illegal, right?
I'm going to answer it like this. If I go out and I kill somebody, am I wrong?
Yes. Well, not if it's in self-defense.
Okay, fine. When that baby does something to that woman, then it'll be self-defense.
So then I think you're taking a long way around answering the question. My question to you was, you believe that a woman that has been sexually violated should be forced to carry the baby to term by law. Is that correct?
Yes, and okay. I'll tell you why. What happened to whatever imaginary woman that we're talking about right now, okay, is horrible, and I am all for helping her out in any way. What I am not for is punishing an unborn child that has done nothing wrong just because it was created.
But you're punishing a mom.
That's what I'm against.
Yeah, but you're looking out for the child, but you're punishing the hell out of the mom.
Sit down, hop on your computer, pull up a video on abortion, watch it, and then tell me that that's nothing wrong with what that is.
I could pull up a video of a woman that's being raped and show how she feels feeling the baby that.
Yes, but I've admitted to you that I think what happened to that woman is wrong. I've already given you that.
But wait a minute. Also, in regards to your request of pulling up a video on a baby being terminated, if the baby is only 1 or 2 weeks old, that video ain't gonna say much. If you're terminating a 9-month-old, in the womb, that's one thing. But if she finds out that she's pregnant in the embryo or fetus is only a few weeks old, there's not much of a video that's gonna be frightening on that.
Well, let me just put it this way so we can end this part of the conversation, okay? I'm a father. I love my son to death.
So am I.
I love my daughter to death.
Okay.
I could never call myself a Christian and ever think of hurting them. Even before they were born, it was a blessing and a miracle. And I don't know a human being that doesn't think that a baby is a blessing and a miracle, religious or not.
If it's forced upon, if they are sexually violated, there's a hell of a lot of women that would not think being pregnant by some strange dude is a blessing.
I didn't say being pregnant. I said the child itself has done no wrong.
But they wouldn't think that baby is a blessing.
Okay, well then, you know, if that's how they feel, I don't know people like that personally. I don't know people. I grew up in a Christian home.
Okay,
like
so did I.
Grandma said that she did. So I know nobody that would think slaughtering an unborn child is a good thing. With that said, you know, I that's all I really wanted to say about the abortion thing. I know you got your opinion,
yeah,
and I respect your opinion, but I put in for request right after Gangster Grandma came up the first time because I wanted to give another view on it. Now I know Democrats aren't going to like it, and
by the way, this is not just a Democrat-Republican thing. There's a hell of a lot of Republican women, even some of them that are pro-life. If they suddenly found themselves carrying an unwanted kid that was put in them by some strange dude, they would become pro-choice.
Right there, when you say that, that sends shivers up my spine. I get that a child might not have been planned for. I get that a child.
I'm not talking about not planned for. I'm talking about where you didn't even want to engage in the act of lovemaking. I'm talking about where you were violently.
And that's a crime. And whoever does that to a woman should have at least, at minimum, life without parole in prison. And I am all for that woman. I am not for murder.
So let me show. Did you see my Tennessee video? What the state of Tennessee is doing?
No, sir, I did not.
I want you to, because you mentioned about the murder thing. I want you to see this. We've played it a couple of times, but it's been a while earlier in the show. I want to get your opinion on this.
Oh, yeah, I think I did. But go ahead and play it again.
You have the mail order abortion pills as well. And then you have people that are going outside of the state to find doctors that are willing to give them an abortion.
And now some lawmakers want to take another step that could severely punish women who have abortions. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. You just heard from Representative Jody Baird, who is deeply opposed to abortion. He feels like since Tennessee passed a ban on terminating pregnancies, too many people have gotten away with it using other methods.
So he's filed a new bill to deter it, an amendment. And as Chris Davis discovered, it could even include the death penalty.
Okay, this is sponsored by a state representative and a state senator.
That's easy.
So what I want to ask you is, before you respond to this, what I want to ask you is this: if a woman terminates the life of her unborn child, and the state responds by terminating the life of the woman, can either party refer to themselves as pro-life?
No.
What's your take on this?
Can I explain now? I gave you a note just to get it on, moving it on.
Go ahead.
Here's why. Okay. First of all, I just got done saying murder is murder. So if it's wrong, if in my opinion, to murder an unborn child, which has brain waves and a heartbeat, okay, they do have that. That's been proven scientifically.
Brain waves at a few weeks old?
And brain waves at, I believe it was, and I would have to go back and double check, okay? But brain waves at, like, I believe it's 2 months old, 3 months old, something like that.
So
and
what
they
if,
still have
okay, so 2 months old, that's not quite 6. What if she terminates it at 6 weeks? No brain waves. You're okay with that?
Right. But my point is, if I stand here and I say murder is wrong, then I have to say murdering a woman that gives an abortion is wrong. My suggestion is, and I can see the hate coming in the comments, my suggestion is life without parole. Give her life without parole. I want her to sit there for the rest of her life and realize every day why she is in there. Killing her is just repeating the same thing.
I want to respond to that. Before I do, though, one of my viewers, typical TY says, he wants me to ask you, when does a person become a living soul?
Oh, that's easy. at the beginning of life.
Conception.
At the beginning of life, they have discovered when, and I'm not going to.
When does life begin? When does life begin? When does life begin?
When the baby starts to form, life begins. There is a spark of life.
Conception.
Probably like a little after conception, when like after the sperm meets the egg, but when it starts to form, there is a spark of life.
That's complicated.
That's when you start to form. That's when you start to form. That you grow a head, you grow arms, you grow legs, you have a heartbeat, you have brain waves. This has all been scientifically proven.
You guys really throw me off with this when you choose to follow the science and when you choose not to. Here's something that you asked me. You made a statement though about the woman. You don't want her executed, but you want to put her in jail and give her life to think about it and things like that. Here's something I want to ask you. If you're willing to put a woman that terminated a child in jail for life, which means you're going to basically have to feed, clothes, and house her for the rest of her life.
Why would you do that for other criminals?
Right. That's true. But my question is, if you're willing to do that to this woman because she terminated the life of her child, why not help some of these women out when they actually have the child? Food stamps, free lunch, as Charlie Kirk didn't want. Why? If you're you're willing to do it for the rest of her whole life.
It's like you haven't talked to me before, because you keep asking me this question. And I keep telling you, I am all for helping a woman out that wants to keep her child. If you want to give her school lunch, give her school lunch. If you want to give her food stamps, give her food stamps.
Right.
If you want to give her health care, give her health care. Yes, if it saves that baby's life, I will cough up the money. And straight talk, I can hear what you're thinking right now. Having an open mind does not make you mean that I'm not a conservative. Conservative family values, you fucking putz. That's what a conservative means.
That is for, I like that. Even though I don't believe in forcing a woman to do anything, I do like the idea that you're consistent. You believe that the death penalty, for instance, is murder if you kill it.
My mom, before she gave us up, my mom was on food stamps. She needed the help. My mom was on Medicaid. She needed the help. I am never against helping a woman. But I do believe if more women got punished for aborting babies, whatever the agreed on a punishment would be, whatever it would be, there would be a lot less abortions.
I don't believe that. And I was about to, somebody said something in the comments that's shocking, but I think it really relates to what you just said about if we got more strict on women that had abortion. Rimnar, I think it says. He says, how many of our grandparents went out to the woods and just dumped their babies, or went out to the woods and just dumped their babies to the wolves? Now, that's draconian, but to me, if we follow your request, handsome conservative, I think more stuff like that would happen. Because if women now know you're going to give them all of this life in prison and all this shit, yeah, the minute they find out they're pregnant, if they don't want the child, they're going to do stuff like that.
First of all, I would like to answer that question.
Sure.
Okay. I know I can only answer from my grandparents. I can't answer from whoever said that. My grandparents wouldn't kill babies.
That's your grandparents, though. That is your grandparents. Your grandparents, their way of thinking.
Yes. And I just said I can only answer from the view of my grandparents.
Right.
Now, as to what you said right after that, I would say this. Women right now, if you think about it, whatever side you're on, right now are the only human beings in the world that can get away with murder and it not be looked down upon. And I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. That's bullshit. The taking of a life is wrong.
I think, but the difference when you say they can get away with murder is because you view you know, what some others would view as taking the life of a clump of cells as murder. People, that's where the difference is that some people, because you mentioned a little bit after conception, right when the spark is there, that's murder to you. Here's my take on this. I believe that, okay, if you want to pass a law that suggests that a woman can't terminate the life of her child, then that woman should be able to walk into the hospital while she's 5-6 months pregnant and tell you, I don't want to take the life of this child, but since you are telling me, take it out of me. You can do what you want with it. Just, I'm not trying to kill it. Take it out of me. You can't do that because you need her. She ain't trying to take the life. I just don't want me to be required. Take it out of me and do whatever you want to do with it.
Okay, and in that instance, I would say this. If the baby can be removed safely, okay, meaning that it's like a preemie, but it's not like it'll be taken out and it would be harmed. Take that child and give it to a family that loves children.
Ain't nobody adopting preemies. What are you talking about? All these healthy kids out here, you're going to have a hard time finding people to adopt preemies.
Babies are put into those incubators. You know the incubators.
Yeah, them children
taken care of until they can get on
ain't
their
nobody adopting no preemies. Them babies have developmental issues and all kinds of shit, not to mention the medical bills. People ain't adopting preemies.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Well, well, then, according to you, and I don't like to discuss this openly,
okay,
but according to that theory, my daughter should have never been born. Okay? Because my daughter has severe mental issues.
No, you didn't hear me right.
And she is just as precious to me as my son is.
You didn't hear what I said. No, you didn't hear what I said. What I said is nobody is adopting a preemie. If it is your child biologically, you're going to do whatever you can to make that child have a healthy, blooming life. But you're not going to go and adopt a child that's in that condition when there's so many healthy ones you can adopt. Nobody's adopting a preemie.
Well, we're not going to agree on this, obviously. So I'll just say this with respect to you, because I got respect for you, Tim.
Thank you.
I hope you
appreciate
know that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
But with respect to your view, okay, I'm for whatever saves that child's life. And if that means giving a woman money, give her money. If that means giving her help, give her help. I'm never going to agree under any circumstance that child should be taken and gotten rid of, aborted. Now, I understand why you do stand with the women, because if you were to realize that it really, truly was alive, then you would be supporting murder. So I understand that you don't believe it's murder.
Yeah, because I believe that if the child actually needs the mom to stay, then I believe it's just a parasite at that point. If the child cannot come out of the mom and survive in any way, fashion, what?
I apologize. No disrespect. It's just when I heard you call a baby a parasite.
I mean, I understand. I understand how graphic the language sounds, but I'm just being honest. When you look up the definition of a parasite, that means it's existing off of the host. I mean, that's what a parasite is. I mean, if you got like a 5-week-old embryo inside of you, if mom decides to stop eating, if mom passes away, that child is gone too. That is a parasite. That child, under no condition is that 5-week-old child going to survive if mom does it. It's just over with, because mom is the host, and that's the only way that child can survive. No, there's no other way around it. So yeah, that's the definition of a parasite.
Okay.
You just don't like the wording. I get it.
Shivers up and down my spine. I hear.
Let me ask you this. Okay, let's change it up a little bit. Let me ask you this. Let's say, for instance, a woman is, 4 or 5 months in your environment where it's now banned to terminate the life of a child is considered murder. So she does not want this child, but she can't medically do anything about it. So she decides, my boyfriend had promised to take me to Disney World this October, And here it is October, and now I'm 6 weeks pregnant. I don't want this damn thing. I'm getting on the roller coaster. I'm going to do exactly what I wanted to do because I never wanted this anyway. And all of a sudden, through her actions, maybe she's not taking prenatals, maybe she still smokes and drinks, does what she wanted to do because she don't. If for some reason her actions causes that baby to not either survive or be born problematic, would you hold her criminally accountable for that?
Okay, now I'm going to answer this, but I want to be specific about it. Criminally, yes, without a doubt. However, again, I do not believe that we should take her life because that would be a contradiction.
Yeah.
Criminally, yes, she helped kill that child.
Wow.
She should be punished because that is attempted murder. Actually, it's not even attempted.
How is it attempted? Maybe she just, I mean, getting on the roller coaster doesn't mean you're trying to kill the kid. It's just not doing the responsible thing.
Drinking and drinking and doing shit that you know will cause harm to the child, and then the child dies of the things that you are doing, knowing that the baby is feeding off you, like you said.
That's a big limitation. That's a big limitation in freedom, conservative. I mean, so now not only are you banning her from terminating her child, you actually are now demanding she live a life in a certain manner conducive to having a kid. So, I mean, obviously that's going to go ahead.
No, you said, what if she starts drinking and doing things knowingly to harm the child?
Yeah, the stuff
she's doing it knowingly to harm the child, that's murder.
What if she knows she's pregnant? Let's say she was already a perfect example. This is fictional, but a perfect example. We know drug addicts get pregnant all the time. They're on the street selling their body to get more product. They get pregnant all the time. In your environment, they got to carry that baby to term. So this person is addicted to drugs and they don't want treatment. A lot of drug addicts don't want to go to treatment centers. They're not ready yet. So this person continues doing hardcore drugs. If their actions lead to the death of that child, are you punishing them criminally?
Yes.
Wow.
Under the condition that you're right, under the condition of what you said, under the condition of they don't want treatment, and they know they're pregnant, then they know that they're doing something again to harm that child.
These people are harming themselves, Hanson, conservative. You expect them to wise up because they got a kid growing. They're not even taking care of their own life. They're just trying to get high again. They're not even doing what's right by them. So you're gonna throw them in jail? I mean, like,
no. For a drug addict, I would say put them in whatever they're called. Those institutions and help them get clean, at least until the baby is born.
I mean, you're doing a lot to make
save life. I believe
that.
My way may sound harsh to you, but my way saves the baby's life and it saves the person's life. I'm not the one voting to murder children. I'm not the one that says it's okay because you're a woman. Even in your body, your choice, when you walk into an abortion clinic with your body and you walk out of an abortion clinic with your body, but that child's body is the one that we're talking about, and that child doesn't walk out. That child gets thrown away in a garbage can.
I mean, I guess the thing is, the pro-choice people are looking at it from a standpoint of freedom, because what you're talking about, although you're saving the life of the unborn, they don't view it as killing. I keep saying that. They don't view terminating the life of a 2-week-old embryo as killing like you do. You view it that way. They don't. Like I said, that embryo is useless if the mom does not act as the host. That is not alive. It is a parasite off the mom. It's not. It's the mom is a host. She's required.
I respect your opinion. I may not agree with it. I respect your right to have that opinion. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm going to say this. My way saves lives. your way, somebody dies. And that's all I got to say about it. I just want to say one more thing, because I know you've got to let me go. I know you got other people to bring up.
Yeah.
Straight talk. You are not a conservative. Sir, you are a MAGA, you are a Republican, but you are not a conservative. And if I were you, I would not talk about how I look, you hairy motherfucker. All right?
Ouch.
The next time you want to come up with me, you better bring your balls, son. That's all I'm saying. Bring your fucking balls. Because you're going to need them.
That wasn't exactly a pro-life statement you made there. You damn near.
He's alive. I ain't fucking trying to kill him, but he's going to wish I did when I get done with it.
God damn. All right, conservative. All right, now. I hear you. Appreciate you coming through, man. Jesus Christ.
Support your local liberal.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Talk to you later. All right, by the way, tap the screen. Handsome conservative. Talk about the kahunas on that guy. Wow, wasn't expecting that. I need a pumpkin spice latte. Oh Lord, this was gold. Says yeah. Sometimes you get them. Sometimes you. DJ Osby, appreciate that. Had mustache. Now that's a conservative. Speaking of MAGA, ain't no liberals involved in that shit. That was a pro-life conservative through and through, Christian through and through. That is not a Democrat addressing MAGA. So keep that shit on over there. Keep that over there. Keep that over there. We trying to, we the party of tolerance now, are we not? Anyway, look at the comments. Oh shit. Colt Talk left. He's mad at you, Tim. Who's mad at me? Colt Talk. Oh, you mean straight talk? Why is he mad? Oh, because of the gangster grandma incursion. Okay. All right. You guys. I swear to God, I'm just talking and sitting. Sometimes you guys make me sweat because you guys put me through it. Looking at the comments, though. By the way, folks, this is Uncensored Dialogue from all sides of the hour. We're here most weeknights. If you favor uncensored speech from all sides of the hour, we are MAGA friendly, always have been, always will be. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. You favor this? You happen to be watching us live on Instagram, Substack, or TikTok? Give us a follow. Watching us live on YouTube, give us a sub. The hypocrisy is thick, says Law School Pro. I love that name. How is a hypocrisy? Explain that. The woman they kept alive for months was, what did he say? Was ridiculous. The baby has all kinds of problems. Yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Where a woman was pregnant in a anti-abortion state and she was dead, brain dead, clinically brain dead. They were able to keep her alive with machines or whatever, using her essentially as an incubator for the baby to grow inside of her. Like I said, parasite and host. Parasite and host. I know the term parasite in reference to an actual baby sounds horrible. I know that. But the definition of parasite, what else are you going to call it? You're just going to make up a different name, embryo, fetus. It's the same thing, though. It literally is. It's feeding off of the host. You got to give her food intravenously so that the baby can get it inside. That's host, parasite. That's literally that relationship. So they kept this woman's body on, I guess, what do you want to call it? A breathing machine. She was a vegetable, basically. But the baby was still growing inside her. So they kept that woman's body alive. And I'm reading in the comments, somebody saying the baby ended up being delivered, but it has all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. I get the notion of not wanting to take the life of an unborn. I'm not going to take away from my last caller. He truly believes that. I mean, and it's noble, to be honest with you. I don't, certainly in his case where he's talking about being willing to help the moms, and things like, because most of the pro-life people are not willing to help the moms with entitlement programs after the babies are born. So to hear him saying that, it's a noble effort, and I know it's religious based, but I'm against it for the simple fact of you're putting a mother through all kinds of changes. I mean, look, people die in childbirth. Not to mention mental health is a real thing. Forcing a woman to carry somebody else's baby that was forcibly put inside. Can you imagine the mental health of that? Some dude done raped you, and you know, after a few months, you feeling his kid kick inside of you and shit, and you're wondering what the hell was that going to look like? I mean, can you imagine? I mean, some of you folks may be old enough. I'm Gen X. Used to be a television show on NBC. I really was a big fan of it, called The Visitors. Does anybody remember that? Anybody old enough to remember that show called The Visitors? They were aliens that came to Earth, and they were posing as humans, and they befriended us with the intentions of really taking over the planet and processing us as food. They were going to eat us. Came on in the 80s, Donovan and all of them. Diana was the bad woman on there, played by Jane Badler. I was a real big fan of that show. Watched a lot. Anyway, that happens to one of the characters in there, because the aliens were wearing, you know, they looked like humans. So the people thought they were, you know, the humans here thought that they were aliens, but they pretty much had the visuals of a human. And one of the girls in one of the characters of the human characters fell in love with one of the alien characters, dating. And before the baby was delivered, she was able to find out that the facade they had on to look like a handsome man, this person actually looked like a fucking lizard under there. Because they were able to, I know a lot of you folks remember it, because it was a pretty big scene back then. So now she's carrying this baby, and you know that the father's a fucking lizard from outer space. Now you're wondering what's growing inside of you. That's what I'm talking about, where you've been raped by some dude. Shit, he might have had a mask on in the dark alley. You may have not even known what race the guy is. You don't know what you may have woke up after this happened, or been, you know, somebody will spike your drink. You may not even know whose kid this. So now you're feeling this shit moving around inside of you. Can you imagine the mental anguish that could do to a mom? I get that we care about the kid inside of her, but what about her mental health? Can you imagine? That could literally make somebody try to off themselves. Forcing them to carry that to term. So yeah, it was called V. It started out as a 3-day mini series, and then it ended up spawning into an actual TV series. Big fan of that. Donovan, played by Mark Singer. I forgot the other characters. It was one, you know, they always had a one token black guy was in it. But yeah, Diana with Jane Badler was playing Diana. Really, it was a good series. I enjoyed it. Anyway, let me go ahead and move on. But I can't imagine, you know, carrying somebody else's shit term and then feeling it kicking inside of me and stuff like that. It's changing your body permanently, stretch marks and all of that shit. That could cause somebody to literally, yeah, you talk about mental health being a real thing. That could literally cause somebody to really feel some kind of way. Anyway, going back to the box, do you